in the state. They're locally owned and operated. That means no subcontractors. Visit solarbear.com today for your free estimate. And right now, get zero down, 0% interest, and no payments for 12 months with credit approval. Say goodbye to your electric bill, but say hi to Solar Bear. Solarbear.com.
Every March, Jersey Mike's turns money from subs into charitable donations.
And March 29th is Jersey Mike's annual day of giving, where 100% of sales are donated to local charities.
And to kick off all that giving, Peter gave me an apron. I'm honored.
Looking good, Danny. We've got subs to make, though.
Yeah. Now I know why you gave me the apron.
Yeah.
Join us this Wednesday for Jersey Mike's Day of Giving. Be a sub above.
In St. Augustine, Ponte Vedra, it might feel like there's not enough time to take everything in. Because once you're done exploring 42 miles of pristine coast, marveling at historical architecture, and enjoying world-class food, it'll be time to check out and head home. But that's okay. You can always stay just one more day. Visit FloridasHistoricCoast.com to learn more. It's about time.
Injured? Hire America's largest injury firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you matter. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. You're listening to WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Available everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. We are an iHeartRadio station. Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. You are now listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
That's right, guys. Here we go on a Wednesday edition of the Jim Colbert Show. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We appreciate it greatly, and we do have a good program for you today. We will get you caught up on what's happening out there in the world. Deb's Woke News will do that around 3:20. 4 o'clock, it's Animal House. Our friend Cora Birch is dropping by from the Save the Manatee Club on a perfect day for that. 5 o'clock hour, Scott Maxwell, trivia. 6 o'clock, Ross Thoughts, and Last Call, plus your calls, talkbacks, and text all day long. Welcome to the program. I'm Jim. To my left, my lovely, very dangerous co-host, Ms. Deb Roberts.
Hello there.
Straight-ahead producer, Jack Bradshaw.
Good afternoon.
Comedy alien, Ross Padgett.
Well, look who it is.
407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Don't forget about us on social media. It's easy there. Facebook, Instagram at The Jim Colbert Show. On Twitter, just add Jim Colbert Show. And all day, every day, at JimColbertLive.com. And by the way, save that. Tune in, because today at Animal House, we won't have a manatee, but you can make a habit of tuning in so you can see the stuff when it comes through. Animal House is one of the best segments we do that for.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Everybody having a good Wednesday?
So far, so good.
So cold out.
What,
yeah,
cold?
This is the last blast. It's not even the last blast because it's not below 60, or no, below 70, I'm sorry. But, I mean...
But you know,
I still owe you $10.
You still owe me $10.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to bring it up because I knew this was going to sting when you remembered.
I have to buy you something.
Whoa, it's very Colbert of you.
So $10, huh?
Yeah. Whatever you want. 40 nuggets.
40 nuggets. Can I pay you with nuggets?
Yeah, you can pay me in nuggets. You can also pay me in nug.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us easily at 77031. You know, so this thing about TikTok has kind of been on my mind a little bit, just simply because I do like the app. It's a very addictive and fun app.
Call it what it is, Jimmy. Come on.
There's a reason why people are so mad about it. Usually, if there was only 20,000 followers, trust me, they would not care at all. It would not be a threat. That's not the case. Obviously, the thing is stomping through the world of social media apps like Godzilla through Tokyo. It's a beast.
It's just so odd to me that, you know, for the sake of the argument that you are addicted to TikTok.
Yeah.
We could debate whether or not you're addicted, but
Not
you really
addicted
enjoy
to
it.
Yeah, I do enjoy it.
What I find fascinating is that I know plenty of people who are addicted to social media, and honestly, I'm probably one of them. But I am not addicted to just watching. I don't know. The people who I know who are addicted to TikTok are addicted to likes. I
don't like anything.
Yeah, they get no.
Mark that.
No,
I don't like anything. I'm just a voyeur.
Getting likes.
Oh, I see.
Is
Yeah,
the
I don't care.
dopamine rush.
Yeah, I don't care about
that
any of that.
a lot of people get. You know, having a video go viral and it's got millions of views. I think that's the high. But you're over here going, no.
I'm just a voyeur, man. I just don't care about posting on it at all. But I do love the ridiculousness that it represents, and it's, it can be painfully interesting. And it's the perfect way with somebody with like ADHD to consume information. 30 seconds to a minute at a time, which is about what I do. That's about my attention span when it comes to stuff like that. And again, it's just, for me, it's entertainment, a way to just kind of while away a couple hours if I got nothing to do. And it's not in a one-time thing. Like, I don't sit for 2 hours and do it, but 15 minutes here, 10 minutes there. Next thing you know, at the end of the day, you've been effing with it now for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things is this, and this is what I don't understand. So one of the things is obviously the data mining aspect of all social media, right? That's the big thing. Your security risks, which of that is they're mining your data, whether it be your photographs, your contacts, all the information you may have, email stuff could be, I guess.
How about this? I find this to be far more intrusive than looking up my email. But it knows how long I stayed on one aspect.
Right, yeah.
And then it goes, oh, well, even though I didn't like something, what's the same thing as a like? Watching an entire video.
Yeah, or watching it more than once. And I realized this. I sat my phone down. I was watching TikTok, and I got my wife called me or something like that, and I thought,
Jimmy, come to dinner.
I thought I closed the app out, but I did not. And that video that was running just ran on a loop for a few minutes while I was talking to my wife. Not long after that, the old videos that I got, not all, but I mean every fourth or fifth video was in relation to what was on that loop for that few minutes that it kind of kept it. In other words, it assumed I was watching that over and over and over again.
Yeah.
So it said to itself, this guy loves this.
What? How to fix a transmission?
No, I forget what it was. It was some interview or something. I want to say it was with Tom Petty or something.
Oh, come on. It was the kitten beating up the lab,
it
wasn't
it? May have been the kitten beating up the lab. I don't know. I'm not beyond it.
My wife sent me ironically enough, a TikTok of a guy talking about the new TikTok bill, saying when you start reading it, it's a lot more than banning TikTok.
Oh, I understand. Yes.
And I haven't gotten into what the more part is.
So here's my thing. And so one of the big things is this, and that, I have these harebrained ideas sometimes, and I bring them to you guys so that you can talk me off the ledge because I really think I've made a breakthrough. I think I may have made a small breakthrough here.
Okay.
Hear me out. So what is the thing with this? It's data mining. So they're trying to figure out how to keep TikTok in America. Now, I think the government wants them to turn over TikTok or the ownership of TikTok to an American-based company, or at least route it through an American-based company so our regulations can kind of go to work on what TikTok is doing, right? That's pretty much what they want to do?
Yes.
Some oversight?
Yeah, because as it stands now, Chinese companies, they have an agreement where Chinese government can access all the data, so they want a firewall in between the data and the Chinese government.
And that's just that's a nationalization thing that a lot of companies or a lot of companies have to deal with when you're in a country like China and or Russia. They can just nationalize your company immediately and you are out. It's that simple. It's happened a number of times. Well, this is different. Okay, so this is my proposal. Why isn't anyone just saying, I will pay a fee to not have that information taken? Like, we do this all the time already. I pay a fee to not see commercials, right?
Yes.
I pay a fee. TikTok is free. If you had to pay for TikTok at $9 a month or $10 a month or whatever the case may be, and part of that agreement would be, I'm paying you the money that you would make mining my data. So don't touch my data. I'm paying you for the right to leave me alone. We do this all the time already. Nobody's mentioned this. Nobody's even brought it up of how you could turn this into the data mining thing. Like, you could say to yourself, well, I don't care about that. What do I have to hide? Well, then you get TikTok for free. Good luck, good job, go on about your business. But if you're me, and you don't want TikTok blanking with your data or seeing your photographs or getting your email address or seeing what videos you're watching the longest or any of those other things that TikTok is being challenged with, I simply pay a fee and you don't come after my data. $10 a month, $8 a month, whatever they think it's worth that they would sell your data for on the open market. They could come up with some kind of analytics that would kind of figure that out. But why not? Why hasn't anyone offered that solution?
maybe they make more. See,
Maybe.
with data, they can take your data and they could sell it 50
multiple times.
right?
Completely understood.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to tell you is if that company wants to stay in America and keep making that big time 70 to 100 million user money, they probably need to figure something out. This is a solution, I believe, that may be able to kind of circumvent that. I pay you a fee. I get a mark or check or a box or whatever, $3 a month, $2, $8 a month, whatever the case may be. I pay that. And with that money, you guarantee me you're not coming after my data. And then there we have a set deal. Then, if you come after my data, or I can prove that you've done it, you've breached our agreement, I have legal action against you. I have no legal action against TikTok right now because the agreement says they can take all my stuff. And the turnabout with that is I get TikTok for free. But I love TikTok, and I want to do it, but I don't care for that mining thing, and I don't want to lose it because it's fun to me, and I'm willing to pay the $10 to have that happen. Why isn't that being? I think that's a really wonderful idea. And again, it's a protocol that's already used. We already pay premium prices, whether it be YouTube or Twitter or whatever, and even in movies and stuff that you stream, you pay a fee to not see the commercials.
Yeah, so there's already social media. So I got really excited yesterday because Instagram gave me a notification and said, "Hey, you made it, big cat. Welcome to the good world. You want that blue check?" And I was like, "Oh my god,
The verification blue check.
the amount of
No.
time!" Yeah,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, "Oh, this is a big."
That was the gold standard for years. It was like having a black card.
And you know what? I think some of that is still true. However,
Yeah.
I did not know that this new blue check or the official thing, that costs like $10-15 a month.
Yeah, that's the one of Elon's big things when he took over Twitter. One of
And
his big things is you were going to have to pay for that verification now. You just didn't get it for free.
Yeah, so Twitter did that. They were the first ones. And then Meta, Zuckerberg, Zuck if you buck,
Yeah.
he went ahead and started going to do the same thing with Instagram and Facebook. So now I could pay for the blue check, but I don't think I don't think I'm going to do that.
But here's the thing, paying for the blue check and then having 100 followers, what does that say? I mean, the whole idea of having the blue check was just to verify.
Well, I'm just throwing this out here. I'm not sure if you got a push notification asking if you want to pay $15 for the blue check.
I didn't. How many Twitter followers do you have?
Oh, this is Instagram.
This is Instagram.
I don't have any Instagram followers.
Yeah.
How many gram followers do you have?
It's like 21,000 or just
Weird
underneath.
flex, buddy.
She asked a question.
Weird flex.
It's like between 20.
You didn't have to answer.
I've got 12 and a half on Twitter, and I know people who have fewer than that and do not have the blue check. I don't have the blue check. I've never asked for it, though.
Yeah, well,
But
usually
you're going to have to ask for it, right?
usually they let like what I read, and I did some research that you have to meet like some sort of standard
Like a criteria, like if the post is enough or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't do
You
any
have to
of
be
that.
someone like an official person in the media.
Yeah. I don't do any of that.
Well, like
So
TV reporters get them.
Yeah.
We don't.
Well, I think Sean has one, doesn't he?
He does.
Yeah.
I think
But-
Daniel Dennis does.
Yeah,
and
Daniel.
Our radio station does.
Uh-huh.
Has the station account.
Yeah, I don't have one.
Nope.
But that's on Twitter
Yeah, that's Twitter.
that you're referring to.
Yes.
Jay.
Correct,
And
sir.
Instagram does that same thing. They have like a verification thing, like that you're a badass, like a check or a blue check or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's paying for it, but you're still going to get your data. And to answer your question of why can't I pay $10 a month so they don't steal my data, it's because I think your data a month is worth more than $10.
Well, but here's the
Exactly.
thing. But you know what's worth more than that? Not being able to do business in this country. That's worth a lot. What I'm talking about is the bigger picture, not just me paying $10. But if they want to keep that company in the U.S., they're going to have to do something. And it doesn't look like they're going to turn over the ownership to a U.S.-based company. They're fighting it tooth and nail. Jesus Christ, their CEO's been on the stand in D.C. for how many days in a row now? He was
It
up there
was
for like
just
three or was it three? Was it just one? I thought he was there for more than one day. They grilled him for what seemingly was a week.
The Byte Dance
Yeah.
CEO.
Yeah.
God, man, there's a really funny quote.
And he's
from
a young fella too, man. He's not that old at all. He's got to be in his like mid 40s.
Who's the politician with the eye patch?
Oh, that's
Crenshaw.
Crenshaw,
Yeah,
right?
Crenshaw is asking him, and he's pressing the CEO of ByteDance, and he goes, "So the Chinese government can take all of the data, and they don't have to let you know about anything. Is that correct?" And the guy goes, "I'm from Singapore.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know."
Yeah. But he knows.
Yeah,
right.
He definitely
Yeah.
knows. Trust
He's
me.
gotta know.
If he's doing business in this country and making that kind of coin, trust me, China knows everything about that dude's business.
Well, and
they
if
probably have the books.
If he's the CEO of ByteDance,
Right,
a
yeah.
Chinese-held company, he certainly understands how they do it.
Yeah, trust me, there's no mysteries there, buddy. He understands exactly what they know. And they're playing a cool game, and that's fine. All I'm saying is if this guy wants to stay in business in the U.S., he's going to have to figure out some other than we don't really want you to see our stuff. They're going to have to do better than that because you don't want to cut out, like, again, I don't know, what's the usage of TikTok in the U.S.? It's got to be 50 million plus accounts, right?
Yeah.
With 365 million people in this country?
Yeah.
I got to say at least 1 out of 5 has a TikTok account.
Data is going to be stolen, whether it's Chinese or it's us.
That's right.
It's someone's going to steal it. It's the most sought-out resource right now in this modern-day world.
What'd you guess?
I said at least between 50 and 100 million users.
150.
Yeah, half the country almost. You're telling me that China is willing to say, nah, I'm good. I don't want the messages of my advertisers in front of 150 million Americans, one of the richest audiences in the planet.
Yeah.
Trust me, they're going to fight their balls off to keep that thing in this country.
Yeah, sure, but to what cost? You're talking about the code of China?
Again, it doesn't matter what your margins are when the option is zero. You see what I'm saying? The option is zero. You either make the money we tell you you're going to make, or you make none of the money. Because we have the ability to throw you the F out.
Yeah, but
we have all the leverage.
This is like how Walmart does business with their vendors.
It's how everybody who crushes souls does business. This is how everybody who gets where they want to go does business. But you use your leverage against the person, and that's what we have more than they do.
But that margin being zero might be worth it when they didn't lose to the U.S. because they'd be on some other levels.
Maybe
man.
so. That I haven't factored in. All right, 407-916-1041. Got a bunch of stuff coming up today. Deb, news?
The FDA approves over-the-counter sale of Narcan. Citizens Property Insurance proposes a rate hike. That's a sweet way of saying that. And tech leaders call for a pause. We'll tell you what they're asking for a pause in and more coming up next during Woke News.
Relatable to what we just said?
Yeah, not really.
All right, okay. Sorry.
It's
My apologies.
okay.
All right, back with Deb's news and more of the Jim Colbert Show right after this.
This is Real Radio 104.1, online at realradio.fm, on your phone with a free iHeartRadio app, and on your smart speaker. Alexa, play Real Radio 104.1 on iHeartRadio.
It would be my pleasure.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center, lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
The northbound lanes of Jongyang Parkway remain closed between Columbia Avenue and Bermuda Lakes Lane due to an accident investigation. Consider OBT for an alternate. There's a crash, though, southbound on OBT approaching 417, taking up the left lane at Peppermill Boulevard. Another coming in north on the Turnpike just past 417, taking up the right lane. See traffic problems? Make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip line at 866-676-8477 from the Traffic Center. I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Denny's. Know what time it is? It's diner time. And now Denny's presents the new Diner Classics Plus menu with instant classics like the new Spicy Moons made with spicy chorizo and jalapenos, or the new red, white, and blue buttermilk pancakes. Craving breakfast, lunch, dinner, or anything in between? At Denny's, it's diner time.
Man, when it comes to getting your eyes fixed, Dr. Filatowski, the Filatowski Eye Institute is where you need to be. You still have plenty of time to fulfill that New Year's resolution to finally get your vision corrected with the leader in vision correction, of course. That is the Filatowski Eye Institute. And it's easy. Simply text 1041 to the number 868686. Schedule that consultation today. You know, I trusted the Filatowski Eye Institute with my son's and my father-in-law's vision. Gladly gave them the recommendation. All Dr. Filatowski did was knock it straight out the park with crystal clear vision virtually overnight. And here's the cool thing. They use the latest state-of-the-art tech, and their surgeons have completed over 65,000 LASIK procedures. What I'm saying is, you're in great hands. Change your outlook forever. Simply text 1041 to 868686 and schedule your consultation with the Filatowski Eye Institute today.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
On the podcast Inner Cosmos with David Eagleman, the Stanford neuroscientist explores how brain science intersects with our lives, passions, and behaviors. This deep dive into the unexpected facets of our brain science will help you see the world differently.
I'm going to explore the relationship between our brains and our experiences by tackling unusual questions.
Listen to Inner Cosmos with David Eagleman on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
March New Car Madness is at Sutherland Nissan Orlando. Our inventory is insanely full of brand new Nissans like Altima, Rogue, Frontier, and more. Buy today and skip your payments for 6 months. But the madness ends soon. Rush to Sutherland Nissan Orlando today. With approved credit, interest accrues from time of delivery.
This is Steve Kramer. Let me tell you a business secret. There are sketch companies out there selling awards. Make sure the awards earned by your lawyer are from respected organizations. At Trenley Kramer Law, our lawyers have been recognized by Orlando Magazine Best Lawyers, Florida Trend Legal Elite, Super Lawyers, and listed in U.S. News as a best law firm for years. We've earned the awards that can't be bought. Trenley Kramer, TK Law, onefirmforlife.com.
Did you know you can now build a low-maintenance deck using stone? With Tanzite Stone Decking. Tanzite Stone does not use any plastic whatsoever. It is decking that's naturally durable, just like everything made with stone. Tanzite Stone doesn't scratch at all. The color will never fade. It is not slippery, even when wet. And it stays cool in the sun. Since Tanzite decking is made of stone, it's virtually indestructible. That's why we guarantee it with a lifetime warranty. Discover how incredibly durable and beautiful a stone deck can be. Go to Tanzite.com. That's TANZITE.com. Online, you'll see how it easily installs over any regular wood deck structure, and you can order a sample to test it for yourself. Build a deck with the durability of stone at Tanzite.com. That's TANZITE.com.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
We buy any car. We buy any car. We buy any car. Any.
Did you know trading in your car at a dealer could cost you money? A recent study found consumers who trade in their car pay an average of $990 more. So don't trade in. Sell it to We Buy Any Car. Learn more and get your free online valuation now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Find out how much your car's worth at We Buy Any Car.
Hey, it's Ryan from the Monsters in the Morning.
And Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth.
And Scott, as I was looking over your LinkedIn, I noticed you made a 2023 list of things you're pretty sure about. I'm wondering, though, what didn't make the cut?
Well, I can share that with you, Ryan, next Sunday morning at 8 a.m. on 104.1 Real Radio.
It's always a tease with you, Scott.
Tune in to It's Only Money with Scott Brown from Edgewater Family Wealth, Sunday morning at 8 on Real Radio 104.1.
Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA SIPC. Edgewater Family Wealth is not a broker-dealer, is independent of RJFS.
Best price the first time. OrangeBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
Real Radio 104.1.
We now return to the Jim Colbert Show.
Place, and now you got to freak me out. Scream so loud, get laid.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. To call us, text us easily at 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Jack and Ross right over there. Let's get a check on the news. Here's Deb.
And now, it's time for Woke News.
seems like kind of a misuse of the whole world.
On the Jim Colbert Show.
All right, woke news brought to you by that mortgage guy, Dom. The FDA is greenlighting over-the-counter sales of Narcan by late summer. That means the drug that reverses opioid overdoses will be available without a prescription the first time ever. This kind of a drug has been made available without a prescription. Narcan, which can be administered and usually is as a nasal spray, is credited with saving thousands of lives over the past few years. The ongoing opioid epidemic killed 107,000 Americans just in 2021.
Wow.
Mostly from fentanyl overdoses.
Which is ironic considering fentanyl does not react to Narcan.
Exactly. Emergent Biosolutions, the Maryland company that manufactures Narcan, hasn't disclosed an over-the-counter price, but nonprofit groups say it's likely to be about $47 for a 2-spray kit.
Wow.
Not too much when it comes to saving a life, right?
Yeah, I guess not.
Governor Ron DeSantis signed a measure to make more affordable housing available for working Floridians. During a news conference in Naples today, DeSantis signed Senate Bill 102, which calls for spending $711 million on housing programs. The so-called Live Local Act gives developers tax breaks for building affordable housing, but it also bars local governments local rent control laws. Think of the Bill of Rights that Orange County recently passed, the Tenant Bill of Rights, and it restricts local government rules on some developments. The new law takes effect this summer.
Man, it must be so dope being Ron DeSantis walking into Naples, Florida. It's a hot crowd.
Oh, yeah.
It's a hot crowd. That's an easy room to win.
Yeah.
The state's insurer of last resort is raising its rates, and I literally had to do like a double and triple take when they did the numbers earlier today.
Oh, come on.
Oh, no, just wait.
What?
Citizens Property Insurance Corporation. Remember, this was supposed to be the insurer of last resort in Florida.
You mean now the only insurance company in Florida?
It was never meant to be like this, right? Well, they announced yesterday it wants to raise the statewide average rate by at least 12%. That would be your first rate increase that would take effect on November 1st, 2023. If approved by the Florida Office of Insurance Regulation, the new rates would take effect, like I said, November 1st. Citizens provides coverage for 1 million Floridians. That's over twice as many as it had just 4 years ago. And, of course, because of all of the payouts, thanks to Hurricanes Ian and Nicole, they also want to raise your home insurance rates by another 13%. And that would take effect on January 1st.
So they want to hit it twice in 2 months?
From what I understood earlier.
A 25% increase in 2 months. So they are not doing it before Christmas to save that 13% for people who want to get that bike?
So 12% November 1st, and then the second rate increase would be 13% January 1st.
Yep. Well, thank God we're taking care of the really big problems here in this state, because I'm telling you, man, this is the one that is really the backbreaker.
This is.
And this is, you know what, here's the crazy part. It's going to cost more money down the road because people aren't going to be able to afford this, and the hurricanes aren't going to stop coming. So eventually in this state, you're going to see a swath of human beings that were living in their homes with their fingers crossed, hoping that nothing catastrophic happens, and then eventually it's going to.
And people are going to have to do the same thing that I had to do to keep your insurance, and that's put on a new roof. If you're over 15 years old, your chances are you're getting a new roof. 2 neighbors today, they were loading up. They have both houses have shingles stacked on top of their roofs,
and
they both are getting their roofs done.
And because of this new legislation, this tort reform, if your insurance company screws you, good luck getting any.
You have no recourse.
No recourse.
And if you do decide to wage a battle, you better have a lot of cash ready to go, and you will not get reimbursed for the cash it took you to get your money back. And on top of that, there's caps to what they can pay.
Well, what we're trying to say is if you rent, you deserve a smile.
Yeah.
You're doing all right.
Well, AccuWeather is out with an early prediction of the upcoming Atlantic hurricane season. The private weather forecasting company, of course, then we'll have Colorado State University will come out with their forecast. Then the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, will come out with theirs.
You're good with big words.
I've been talking about these guys for a long time. But this private weather forecasting company is predicting 11 to 15 named storms to form in the Atlantic Basin. 4 to 8 of those would be forecast to become hurricanes, and 1 to 3 would be expected to become major hurricanes, think Category 3 or higher. Hurricane season begins June 1st.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a little more than 2 months away and doesn't end until November 30th.
Yeah, there you go.
And of course, as we've seen with so many other storms everywhere, but when you think of the Panhandle, so much of Florida forgot what the Panhandle went through because they got hit by a Category 5, but the rest of us were okay. But, I mean, there are still news stories today about recovery efforts going on up in the Panhandle.
Fort Myers Beach is still fighting to come back to life. I mean, there's a lot of that area down there in the Southwest Florida that got hit last year that is still struggling and will be forever. And like you said, that Mexico Beach area up there in the Panhandle
is gone.
It's gone. Basically, I think one of the county commissioners said they couldn't find a way to build it back. Like it was literally like starting a new city.
Yeah.
It had been taken down to slabs.
I know in Southwest Florida, where you're speaking of, where Ian made landfall as a near Category 5 late September, they finally got shrimping boats back into the Gulf to finally start shrimping. And it took them 6 months to be able to do that.
I actually think that was the basis of the story, is the fact that finally that industry had come back to that area, but that was all there was.
That's exactly. And and again, we're only 2 months away from a fresh hurricane season, and we're nowhere near done.
And there's nothing
recovering
better than a nice fresh hurricane season.
Speaking of the weather, there is a 60% chance the weather will cooperate for today's scheduled SpaceX launch from Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. The California-based company plans to send another 56 Starlink satellites into orbit as part of its expanding broadband internet constellation. The launch window opens at 4:01 p.m. and closes at 7:49. Weather conditions improve to 85% should the launch be pushed back to Thursday. Now, SpaceX started the Starlink program
in 81.
5 years ago.
Oh, it seems like 81.
And it has launched how many satellites since then?
81,000.
No, I think, but I was about to ask, I think the ending goal, isn't it like 31,000 of these things are supposed to be in the air?
I remember at first it was going to be like 1,200, I thought. And
Well,
then it was 12,000. I don't know.
They're basically, the idea is to make it, regardless of where you are on planet Earth, you're getting 100 up and down.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that was the goal, if I understand. I'll go 11,000.
Oh,
all right.
Really? Okay. Damn. I was going to go a lot lower, but now.
Jack, your turn.
16,000.
I'll take the under. 15.
Ross is 4,000.
Oh, wow.
4,000.
Yeah.
And that's a pretty large time window, right, for a rocket? Or am I just lying?
What do you mean?
She said it was from 4:01 to 7:10, like it
7:49.
was,
yeah,
like it was Spectrum or something.
It depends what they're looking. What
like we're getting a dryer delivered?
Yeah, it's a rocket.
Yeah, well, they have to get
That's
into
a
a
window.
specific orbit. And
Come on, man. We're talking math over here. Get with it.
You know the globe is spinning, right?
Yeah, it's a large window. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but what he's saying is if it's spinning and that window comes around, you only have a brief amount of time to shoot it through that window while it's spinning.
And not brief enough. That we're talking 3 hours. That's a fair amount. That's not brief to me. That's Titanic.
A man is formally facing charges in connection to a quadruple murder at a Brevard County home. A grand jury charged Domenico Gigante yesterday with 4 counts of first-degree premeditated murder. He's accused of breaking into a Cocoa home before shooting his 15-year-old daughter, who didn't want a relationship with him anymore, and 3 other adults earlier this month. Police say 2 other children were found inside the home, thankfully unharmed. Investigators say he has a history of domestic abuse. The state attorney's office is reviewing all of his prior convictions.
Yeah, this is the guy I think that was talking to a buddy of his
roommate, right?
While this thing was going on, and said, "Well, I guess I got to go kill them all," and that's exactly what he did.
Yep.
Like, that's exactly how that went down. He kind of looked at his buddy and said, "Yep, I guess I have to kill them all," and then went and killed them, except for the 2 kids that were hiding in that back room.
I believe that was one case where one of the children used Facebook Live to contact another family member.
That's exactly what it
who
was.
then rushed back to the house and discovered the scene and then called the police.
I just don't understand why my daughter doesn't want to see me. Do you guys think it might be, I don't know, the gun threats?
Yeah.
Kidnappers are reportedly demanding more ransom for a Florida couple taken from a bus in Haiti earlier this month. Family members of Jean Dickens Toussaint and his wife Abigail say they have paid $6,000 already, but now the criminals are demanding more than $200,000 for each.
Yeah, this is common, by the way.
person. Oh, yeah.
This is a very common tactic. This is the one in Haiti?
Yes.
Yeah.
Their
Old
son,
switcheroo.
Their son, who turned 2 on Tuesday, is still back in South Florida with his grandfather. The State Department says it is aware of the situation, but has nothing further to share right now.
I just read a story on Haiti today. It was a story about the 10 places that you can go where you'll feel unsafe, the most unsafe. And Haiti, even the guy who wrote the story said, even with a guide that you pay to keep you safe, you're not 100% sure that person isn't going to be the person that robs you.
Oh, I mean, yeah, you're just, some places in the world, there's just so much desperation that regardless of even if you're powerful or whatever, it's just, you're a quick buck at the end of the day and someone's hungry.
And if you're in the,
Yeah, so, hey, a Pinellas County parent, Jack, this is just going to set your hair on fire, my friend.
Okay.
Pinellas County parent is objecting to students seeing a movie about a civil rights icon.
Man, I saw this today. Oh.
Ruby Bridges is a Disney movie made in 1998 about a 6-year-old black girl who integrated a Louisiana school back in the 1960s.
One of the most famous pictures or paintings out there, right? During that era of her being walked by the federal authorities into the classroom.
North Shore Elementary School in St. Petersburg showed the film to second graders 3 weeks ago, but a parent filed a formal complaint. She claims the film contains racial slurs and it could lead viewers to think white people are racist, so after the complaint was filed, the school decided it won't show the video again until a committee reviews it. There's no word on when that review will take place.
What grade?
Second graders.
And that's the complaint. The complaint is that the content is too sensitive for people that age and that they could not fully understand the concept of racism or where or what it's done since then.
Oh, that's frustrating.
An actual event.
That's anti-woke.
That's an actual event that actually happened and changed the course of American history. One of them, that event.
An absolute crossroads moment.
A 100%. Again, that's one of the most famous images in American history from that era is that image of that little girl being walked into class by those 4 federal agents. It's iconic. And the film representing that is now not good.
Only here?
Yeah, just in that school, actually.
Pinellas County.
Yeah.
Well,
that's Tampa area, right?
Yeah, well, all it takes is a parent to complain in another school district, and in Florida, at least.
Yeah. All right, well, back to the TikTok story. It may soon be illegal to use TikTok at public colleges here in Florida.
When will it end?
A Board of Governors committee meeting yesterday approved an emergency measure allowing State University System Chancellor Ray Rodriguez to impose a ban. The measure says Rodriguez can announce a ban at his discretion and as soon as practicable. One board member tells the Tampa Bay Times TikTok is an immediate threat to faculty and their research. All right, another school news. The leader of the Brevard County School District is suspended.
Man, they're having a great week over there.
Oh, all up and down
the coast. The coastal principals have had a wonderful, wonderful week.
Well, the school board voted yesterday to place interim superintendent Robert Schiller on administrative leave. Now, board members say they want to investigate accusations against Schiller, but no one gave any details. Schiller criticized the board last month. I believe it was a 12-page email for what he calls an astounding level of immaturity. Assistant Superintendent for Facilities Sue Hahn was named acting superintendent. Schiller was named interim superintendent just 4 months ago.
Right, yeah.
And there are one of 3 or 4 local school districts that's looking for a new superintendent.
Oh, yeah. And then
not to mention the 5,000 teacher vacancies.
And 2 principal vacancies apparently.
Yeah,
soon.
because of the DUIs.
Yeah, 2 DUIs.
I bet you a lot of people call him Bobby Chill. That's a cool name.
A little bit further south, a Volusia County principal is stepping down after she sent $100,000.
Oh my God, this story. Listen to this.
$100,000 from the school's account to a scammer posing as Elon Musk.
Oh, man.
Jan McGee.
Did he not have the blue check mark?
Yeah.
It gets worse. Listen.
Jan McGee admitted that she spent months talking to the scammer online, hoping to get Musk to invest millions of dollars into the Burns Science and Technology Charter School in Oak Hill in exchange for an upfront investment. So she wrote a $1,000 check using the school's money to send to the scammer as an upfront investment. When the school's business manager learned that McGee had sent the check, He canceled it before it was cashed. McGee abruptly resigned from her job during last night's school board meeting when word of the story got out.
It was a $100,000 check.
Oh, there you go.
A $100,000 check she wrote to a guy that had been contacting her online, posing to be Elon Musk and saying he was going to invest considerable refund or finances into the school. By the way, which is an A-plus rated school. A-plus rated. Here's the best part. The superintendent of the schools and the directory of the schools warned her on multiple occasions that it was a scam. Told her, this is a straight-up scam. You're being scammed. And she still sent them a $100,000 check from the coffers of the school. Thank God the guy caught it and canceled it, or they would have been out that 100 G's. Because once it's gone and they cash it, you'll never see them again. Unless you got a one-way ticket to Russia.
And even then.
She should be the one attending the A-plus school.
Oh, my God, man.
D- principal for your A-plus school.
Exactly. That's great.
And then finally, tech leaders are calling the race to make artificial intelligence as advanced as humans, quote, dangerous, end quote. In fact, in an open letter signed by 12 innovators, including Elon Musk and Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak, they urged for a 6-month pause on the development of human-level intelligence, saying it represents a real risk to society. Musk, who is one of OpenAI's co-founders, has criticized the organization a number of times recently, saying he believes it is diverging from its original purpose. OpenAI makes the popular ChatGPT. GPT-4, which was released earlier this month, is thought to be far more advanced than its predecessor, GPT-3.
Saw a story of artificial intelligence that passed the bar exam in the top 10% of the country, right? But then it gets to a certain point, the AI can't get past this CAPTCHA. You know, the little things that you type in, right?
Are you a robot?
So, yeah, it gets stuck there. So what does the AI do? It hires a human being to get past the CAPTCHA off of like a
Craigslist or whatever.
Essentially one of those.
Wow. Outthought the problem.
AI hired a dude.
Yeah. It's just like when they try to use AI to get around, bias. They find out, there was a CBS Sunday Morning thing. They ended up finding out that the AI still ended up having the same bias that a human hiring manager would have had.
It's using input from the internet, which is littered with that stuff.
It's nice to know humans will still be needed after the robot takeover, just for those CAPTCHA screens.
Exactly.
We'll all be chained up with our eyes held open with toothpicks.
All they'll do is cut everything we have off except for our one finger.
Right, exactly.
To push CAPTCHA.
The AI was, it went to TaskRabbit, which is, I believe, like a website where you can kind of get small, mundane things done, I suppose. Insane that it used a human to get past the thing that we put in there. Wild.
And now you all are officially woke, and Woke News is brought to you by Home Loans Radio with that mortgage guy, Donna. Everybody knows you should get more than one quote on your mortgage, but statistics show only about 25% of us actually do. And the reason why? It takes too much time, and we're busy. Well, that mortgage guy, Don, really makes it so easy for you that you have no excuse not to. Just go to thatmortgagguydon.com, hit the compare quote button, put in your contact info, tell him your credit score, and then upload your quote, and he will do the rest. Don will interpret your quote and let you know if you can do better. Plain and simple, no spam, no hassle. Just peace of mind at thatmortgageguydon.com.
Thanks, Deb. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back in a sec with more of The Jim Colbert Show.
Real radio is Real Music Weekends. Real Music Weekends. This weekend on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by attorney Mo DeWitt. Injured on the go? Just call Mo.com.
From the Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center. Powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
Hi, everybody. Good Wednesday to you. Jamie King here, Fox 35 Storm Center. As we approach midday, want to update the Central Florida weather forecast for you. Looks like highs today, upper 70s to right at about 80. A mix of sunshine and clouds with breezy north winds at 10 to 20 for the afternoon and early evening hours. Clearing tonight, cooler temps, upper 50s, light north wind. On our Thursday and Friday, temperatures growing up and out into the low mid 80s for highs. Keeping it dry, mostly sunny skies. For Fox 35, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Jamie King. Take care.
This report is sponsored by J&M Roofing.
At J&M Roofing, you can finance your new roof for as little as $139 a month. Call J&M Roofing, 321-972-6952. J&M Roofing, under the umbrella. Florida license number CCC 1331951.
You know that expression, the grass is always greener on the other side? Well, with Massey Services, it's literally true. Why? Because Massey does what the others don't. Every lawn is unique, so Massey starts with a detailed analysis and then builds a customized plan to prevent and control weeds, diseases, and harmful pests. Then they aerate to ensure water and nutrients reach the roots of your lawn. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
There's a place where spring break is even spring breakier. Dave & Buster's. Where there aren't just nachos, there's lasers too. Dave & Buster's. And not just jet skis, but jet ski racing games, space games, action games, and even virtual reality. Dave & Buster's. And in this reality, it's the spring breakiest. Let your spring break loose at Dave & Buster's.
I've been buying wholesale cars for 27 years, and every year, the way I know the market has peaked is my Bradford pear tree blooms. This morning I looked, and it is bloomed. The market is peaking. If you want to sell your car, this is the highest time of the year to do it right now. Just beat a guy today. A CarMax offer $3,000. They offered him $75 on his Corvette. I gave him $78. Why? Because the tree told me to. GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code DRIVE for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code DRIVE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code DRIVE.
Do you have heart failure and often hear,
"Those stomach issues ruined your birthday"?
"You're too tired to play catch, Grandpa."
Sweetie, you haven't touched your tools since the carpal tunnel syndrome diagnosis.
If these seemingly unrelated symptoms sound familiar, talk to your cardiologist and ask about transthyretin amyloid cardiomyopathy, or ATTR-CM, a rare and underdiagnosed disease that gets worse over time. Learn more at connecttoyourheart.com. That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
So, what could you do with 8 hours? With that much time, probably a lot, right? Or nothing at all sounds pretty good too. With an 8-hour battery life, a vape device from Blue gives you the freedom to unplug. So relax, disconnect, or just let yourself focus on getting your own stuff done with a full 8 hours of unlit you time. Blue, get unlit. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical. Underage sale prohibited. Blue is a trademark of Fonum Holdings 4BV. Copyright 2022. Fonum US LLC.
Every March, Jersey Mike's turns money from subs into charitable donations.
And March 29th is Jersey Mike's annual Day of Giving, where 100% of sales are donated to local charities.
And to kick off all that giving, Peter gave me an apron. I'm honored.
Looking good, Danny. We've got subs to make, though.
Yeah. Now I know why you gave me the apron. Join us this Wednesday for Jersey Mike's Day of Giving. Be a sub above.
This hour brought to you by Space Coast Jobs Now, coming March 30th.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show, also available to watch at The Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
They will always make money in America, even if the government decides to ban them. Americans that want their little videos, they're just going to use a VPN. It's no big deal. It's not the government restricting them, it's the government restricting you.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. Hey, going back to a story that you mentioned earlier about the Narcan thing. So let me ask you guys, I'm interested. Who buys that? I mean, because with police officers and medics and things like that, it's distributed to them as part of their belt equipment, I believe. For officers in this state, I'm almost positive that's the case, right? That all cops carry Narcan on them now, or at least one part of the unit does?
I believe deputies and police officers, maybe even troopers.
Yeah.
And we've talked to people. I know we did an interview where they talked about the opioid epidemic weekly on Real Radio, and they were saying that there will be time everyone should have access to Narcan. Like, it should be in your first aid kit, because you never know when you may think, oh, my kids don't do that. But then with fentanyl, where you can, kind of come across these problems unexpectedly, everyone should have access to Narcan.
And I wouldn't be surprised if some of these overdose deaths that have been, that people have suffered for several years are because a group of friends are hanging out and someone ODs. And no one wants to get in trouble. So, you delay getting help or possibly not help at all because you don't want to call the cops. Yeah. So if you have Narcan in the house, or if you're a parent, or if you're going to have a party and some of those illicit drugs could be on your property, I think it's good insurance.
So users I think
users will have them, and more.
Really, you think people who are pill addicts are going to spend money on Narcan? They're going to spend $46 on Narcan and spend that on drugs?
Not all of them, but I think there's a high chance. Yeah. I think the number one overall draft pick of people buying Narcan, over the counter, loved ones.
Yeah, I was going to say
family members.
Yeah, loved one and parents. That's like
moms and dads.
When she read that story earlier, I was like, well, based on what I know about how law enforcement uses this, that's issued to them from the department. They don't have to go out and buy Narcan they're going to use on perps that they could be running into, or ODs they're running into. So outside of that, like, where's that market? And I guess that would be the case, right? I mean, I find it difficult to believe that users are going to have this on hand. I just simply don't believe that if you have $46 extra as an addict, that you're going to spend that on Narcan and not drugs. But I do believe that loved ones like parents, brothers, and sisters, and people like that knowingly have someone that struggles with this in their home would definitely be part of that.
It might not. It might be beyond addicts, though. It could be, things laced that you were not expecting. Just people who like to party a little, like Ross.
Well, we learned when that stuff came out that users were seeing how far they could push themselves, like Narcan parties, right? Well, we heard that they would bring doses of this into the room and then push the limits of what their body can take with their drugs and just bring themselves back to life with Narcan.
I absolutely think that this is a step in the right direction, but I do think that is also going to happen.
Well, if it's happening now, it's definitely going to happen. The only thing is again, I don't know that how many drug users are going to pay $46.
Because not all drug addicts are broken on the side of the street.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They're functional addicts.
Yeah. Some of them have a full-time job where they can afford that $47. My biggest fear is somebody who's addicted, has some income, goes ahead and goes, I'm going to buy this because tonight I'm going hard.
Yeah. Someone texted us, our daughter's college gives each student free Narcan at the beginning of each semester. I'm happy they're making it available to the general public, and also wanted to clear something up. Someone else texted us at 77031. Hey there, gang. I'm a practicing anesthesiologist, and fentanyl, which I administer every day, although not to myself, is an opioid, synthetically made, and Narcan does reverse its respiratory depressant effects. Just wanted to clear that up for your audience. Love the show. They say it takes more Narcan, though, if there is fentanyl than if it's...
I just read recently that it didn't have an effect on it. I think you and I read the same story. Wasn't it out of Daytona?
It was the zombie drug that they're saying that it doesn't have any effect on it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to put that out there then for sure. Good. Let's say that again. So it does have an effect on fentanyl.
Yes, fentanyl. It will. It apparently, according to that doctor that just texted us, it requires more Narcan, but Narcan will reverse the respiratory depressant effects of fentanyl.
Also, another EMT that listens to the show just texted as well and said, so when we go to the house where there's an OD, we are allowed to leave a pack of Narcan there.
Oh, wow.
There are a few people we come across that have a Narcan prescription occasionally as well. So in other words, I guess that they're I guess just such a slave to their problem that they have to keep that on hand at all times. Because again, when you're buying illicit drugs from lot to lot, when you buy heroin, I'm guessing you probably can't predict, or fentanyl, you can't predict the purity or non-purity thereof. So in other words, the injection you took the day before from one dealer, the next day, same theory, same injection, but maybe the drug is more pure,
right?
And it has, and you're already pushing yourself to the edge to still get high because you've already created such a gap, such a dependency that you have to do more and more and more to have that same experience.
Let's map it to alcohol. If you gave me a product that told me, like, yo, man, you can drink a lot, and then at the end of the night you do this, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
I'd probably buy that product and drink a lot more. I'm being honest.
Yeah, a lot of people would.
That would be a bad
human
product.
nature.
Yeah.
That would be a bad product. That product exists for overdoses. And like I said, I do think that this is a step in the right direction. I'm just fearful of, a small percentage of people going, oh, well, it's pedal to the metal now.
Let's go. Man, another cop just said, hey, I'm a Leo. I'm a law enforcement officer. My Narcan is for me and for other Leos.
Yeah.
In other words, they're taking that in case they go into a scenario where fentanyl becomes powderized in the air.
Well, we've talked about that one officer. Yeah,
snort that in, and then and you're right. We have seen that happen. Officers give it to other officers to keep them alive while doing drug busts.
Yeah, I mean that one officer. I mean, she leaned over into the car, and next thing you know, she's out.
Some Florida departments of health, like in Sumter County, most recently, they did it at the end of last year. We'll give it away for free.
Wow.
What I want to know is if I'm not ODing and I take a couple rips of some Narcan, what happens? Yeah, what happens? Oh, let's find out. Rostad, 6 o'clock.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Animal House is up next with our friend Cora Birch from Save the Manatee Club. We'll talk all about that here on National Manatee Day.
Yeah.
That's next.
Orlando City hosts Nashville SC at Exploria Stadium this Saturday. Coverage starts at 7 p.m. on Real Radio 104.1 and on our free iHeartRadio app.
Major problems on the roadways at this hour. Westbound Sand Lake Road is shut down due to a crash between Orange Avenue and Weingard Road. You can use the Beach Line for an alternate. Northbound 417 is also shut down from a crash between the Turnpike and Landstar Boulevard. Consider Orange Avenue or OBT for an easier ride through these areas. The Turnpike is up to speed. See traffic problems? Make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Wawa. Wawa's panini flavors are getting even bolder, like buffalo chicken paired with creamy mac and cheese. They're sure to be the envy of every lunch. Go ahead, try a new bold panini today. Gotta have a Wawa.
The Mattawa Caves is a brand new fiction podcast that marries supernatural horror storytelling with an immersive psychological thriller. Tune in to uncover the chilling story and secrets as old as the caves themselves.
Without monsters, there are no victims, no prosecutions, no defenses, no justice.
Listen to the Mattawa Caves, that's MANTAWAUK Caves, on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Spring into a new Mazda at Daytona Mazda with over 200 new Mazdas to choose from. Check out the new 2023 Mazda CX-5 or CX-9 today. And with rates as low as 0%, there's never been a better time to get into a new Mazda with our complimentary lifetime powertrain warranty. Daytona Mazda is prepared to make the car buying process as streamlined as possible. Out of respect for your valuable time, stop on by Daytona Mazda at the Daytona Auto Mall today at I-95 and LPGA or shop online at DaytonaMazda.com.
Hey folks, it's time to de-junk and do some deep cleaning. Let Zero Res help. Zero Res can clean your carpet, furniture, tile and grout, sofa, area rugs, everything. Right now, get your tile and grout clean and sealed for 20% off. Make an appointment at OrlandoZeroRes.com. Zero Res, spelled forwards and backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Orlando is lurking, ready to protect what's theirs.
Because in this wild, it's survival of the fittest. Welcome to their jungle. This is your team. Experience more football. Experience XFL. Your Orlando Guardians take on the DC Defenders at Camping World Stadium Saturday, April 1st at 6 p.m. Tickets on sale now. Visit xfl.com/tickets.
I won over $500,000 playing slots. I do this full time and I would not change it for the world. It's fun and I win. I win a lot.
It happens every day. Regular people are winning every single day. Whether it's $500 or $50,000, anybody can win. Because when they win, I feel like I'm winning.
I came one night, hit the double downs, had a couple of good runs, and won about $300,000.
Anybody could win at Seminole Hard Rock, Tampa.
Must be 21 to play slots or table games. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Celebrate Jersey Mike's annual month of giving. Make a donation all month long at your local Jersey Mike's and make sure to stop by March 29th for Day of Giving, when 100% of sales will be donated to local Orlando charities. Learn more at jerseymikes.com.
The Dell Technologies semi-annual sale starts now with limited quantity deals on select performance PCs powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Save on select Vostro laptops with built-in security features and select Latitude laptops with enhanced privacy, collaboration, and connectivity. Save on select essential accessories plus free shipping and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, but Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Josh, quote, "After walking around my whole life being a mouth breather, I was excited to try Navage. I read the directions carefully, pressed the button, and oh my gosh, what a sensation. So much mucus, so much crud, but oh sweet, merciful air, I can finally breathe you through my nose. Never have I ever taken such an amazing breath in my life. This is a life changer," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
When people have a craving to explore new and traditional Asian cuisines, they head to P.F. Chang's, where scratch-made dishes come from the 2,000-year-old tradition of wok cooking. P.F. Chang's wanted to explore new possibilities for their website. They turned to AmericanEagle.com. AmericanEagle.com re-architected P.F. Chang's website, integrating multiple third-party systems to create a unified digital experience. The result? Improved page speed and performance, personalized content based on users' location, intuitive online ordering, and increased in organic search visibility, and a 40% increase in new users for scratch-made Asian cuisine. Visit your local P.F. Chang's or go to pfchangs.com for website design, development, digital marketing, and hosting that produce efficiency, revenue, and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. P.F. Chang's and AmericanEagle.com. Another example of the best businesses in the world, turning to the best in the business for websites. Go to AmericanEagle.com or call 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show, Real Radio 104.1, 407-916-1041. Text us easily at 77031. I am Jim. Jack and Ross are right over there, and Deb has Animal House.
She likes them fuzzy, furry, feathery, tough, and scaly. It's time for Animal House with Deborah Roberts.
And Animal House is generously brought to you by Glenn Klausman of Klausman Law. Each and every week, we'll tell you how you can get in touch with Glenn at the end of Animal House. But right now, we've had her on Zoom for years, but this is the first time.
In person.
In person. Cora Burcham with Save the Manatee Club. Yay!
Oh, yeah, manatees.
She's like, what did I do?
Go to JimColbertLive.com and click through the YouTube so you can see beautiful Cora here live with us. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
It's so funny. You walked in. I think you were just as excited to be here as we were to have you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. How's it been here on Manatee Day?
Well, it is, Manatee Appreciation Day, so we've been super busy all day long. It's really awesome. So many people are engaging. A really big day for manatees. So, yeah, very exciting.
And I remember reading that we've had things have come along a little bit for the manatees. Like we've had a better year than we like at this position this year. We're better off than we were last year as far as deaths and the health of the overall manatee world.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we've definitely had less deaths this winter, which is nice. We had a milder winter. The manatees were in better condition, so there's still a lot of issues out there, but it's looking slightly, more positive than it looked the last 2 years.
Hell yeah. Don't call it a comeback.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hopefully, because I know one of the issues with manatee mortality is the fact that they're starving because of a lack of seagrass. So March, I'm sure you guys have already had this on your calendar and have celebrated mightily, but it's also Seagrass Awareness Month.
I just looked at my tat.
He's super into it.
Yeah, really into it.
So what does that mean for you guys? For
some people use flames, I use seagrass.
Yeah, so you're right. It is Seagrass Awareness Month, and one of the big issues for manatees is the die-off of seagrass. So what we've been doing all month is just really raising awareness about seagrass, about manatee food sources, what people can do to protect them and to engage. So because this is really it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So restoring these seagrass beds, that's it's in the making, but it's not going to recover overnight. So it's really important to remind people about that.
Yeah, Save the Manatee Club is a big part of that, of course. Cora Birch with us today. I know that here recently we've heard some chatter from Tallahassee about getting funding for the lagoon over there, which is a big deal because the health of that lagoon is really important for our manatee population here in Central Florida. Have you guys heard any more about what's going on, or where's the action there?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's a ton of projects really underway right now. It starts really with, clearing up the water quality, outplanting like oysters and clams, and doing shoreline restoration to get the water quality to the point where you can plant seagrasses back in there. So all of that is very expensive, but we do have a lot of partners that we work with who do that. So that's really promising. There's a lot of projects.
Now, I know that those are some of the projects you're working on, but I've also read of a couple of lawsuits that have been filed against the EPA over water quality specifically.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Like the Indian River Lagoon and such. Now, have Save the Manatee Club, have you been part of that litigation?
Is this driven by
the manatee die-off?
But what I'm saying is did you go like a petition drive? Is that what it was to gather information to file a lawsuit? Don't you have to have a certain amount of how did that go?
That is part of that too. So I'm personally not involved too much into the whole litigation and legal aspects of it, but I can tell you that we have been partnering with other organizations to to sue those agencies in charge of really the water quality, because we need to have these standards enforced. We can't just outplant seagrasses and hope that they're doing really well if we don't have these laws in place and these laws being enforced. And that's really what we're going after is sort of the source of the problem. We don't just want to put a Band-Aid on this gaping wound. We really want to get to the bottom of this.
Right.
And a big part of that, like you said, the water quality, is it leaking septic tanks? Is it phosphorus coming off of lawn water?
It's just giving us a whole bunch of yeses for all
exactly.
of this.
It's pretty much all what you said, and that's the big problem. It's so many different sources. You have leaking septic tanks, you have sewage spills, you have fertilizer coming from agriculture and from lawns. I mean, it's really all these little, what do you say, like a death by 1,000 cuts or something like that? Like, it comes from all sides, and that's why it's so hard to really, fix it, because you really got to work on so many different levels there.
Wow.
I am very curious. I have a bunch of questions for you. First one, what is the fastest a manatee has ever gone? What's their top speed?
I think it's around 20 miles per hour.
Yeah, there's no way.
No
way. They can swim as fast as me?
For a very, very short. I mean, I have not seen you swimming yet, so I don't know.
That was just a tiny
Well, he
joke.
has a new pool, so
that's a tiny joke. Tiny joke.
And the manatee competition is off, and yeah, I think that's the manatee. Or
the big white one's getting lapped.
Well, I mean, they really only swim that fast when they get spooked by something.
Oh, really?
We do have some video of that, from our webcams at Blue Springs, so you can sort of see them take off and then they slow down. They don't last long.
Well, their stamina's bad. It's like a gator, but look, if you look at that flipper's the size of a trash can lid. I mean, that thing is moving some damn water, man.
And that's strong, too.
What do their whiskers feel like? Do they hurt? Are they rough? Are they soft?
They're just like really bristly, like a brush, like those brushes that you use to scrape off like really like dirt that you need to get off.
Yeah.
That's that's I think sort of what they feel like.
Hey, Cora, let me ask you, by the way, Cora Birch here, Save the Manatee Club. She's here with us for Animal House. How do you see, how do I phrase this?
Carefully.
No, I'm just trying.
Very carefully.
Do you see a lot of young people coming into the environmental sciences? Theoretically, I think you should, right? Because, I mean, it gets a lot of attention. There's a lot of resources out there. Those degrees are extremely interesting, biological sciences. Do you see a lot of young people moving toward what you do?
Yeah, no, we really do. We have a lot of interest from young people wanting to know how they can get involved and what they can do, which is really promising because that's where the future is. That's what we need. And I think it's also really important for people to understand it's not necessarily always the biology or environmental science background. I mean, I personally, have a background in communication. That's how I got started with this. So you never know. I mean, if you have a passion and you're interested in something, go for it. You never know.
Wow.
Because it was a family trip to Florida where you saw your first manatee, and that's what's led to your life's work now.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you never know.
So let me ask you, though, what's it like dating people in the manatee world? Is it? Do you find a lot of really qualified dudes out there when you're, or young ladies when you're dating in the manatee world? I mean, are they? Yeah.
This took a strange turn.
Yeah, exactly. Are you dating manatees?
If you have a certain job, usually that kind of has a bit of an indication. Oh, come on.
Oh, Corey, your first visit, and you already got the music.
On what kind of person? Like, lawyers attract a certain kind of person. Can we agree with that? Right?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is, if you're into manatees and into preservation and things like this, I mean, what kind of dudes come around? What kind of,
Hey,
I mean, it would better be someone who understands what you're doing because these manatees take up so much of your time and of your life that you barely have any time for anything else.
Really? Really? Is that true?
It is.
Wow, really? So when you talk about your day and you dedicate time, how do you spend your hours? Like, you get up in the morning, you go to work, you're there at 8 o'clock. What does your day consist of when you talk about, what you do with Save the Manatee Club?
I mean, that's a really great question because so many people ask me, what's your typical day like? And I have no idea what that phrase typical even means anymore, really. I mean, everything is always different. Just last week, I thought I was going to Blue Spring at 7:30 in the morning, do the morning count, and then have a solid 5 hours to work at all my media stuff at home. Well, we had an injured manatee that needed rescue, so I spent the next 6 hours with that manatee, calling the different agencies to come in to rescue. So that day turned completely upside down. So you just never know.
And then the work had to still get done, though, right?
Absolutely.
So you have to do that evening. What kind of injury were we talking about? It's almost always boat.
Was it the crab trap?
Is it ACL?
That one was actually one that had lost a lot of weight. We don't really know why. Probably ingested something. It was not the one with the crab trap.
Just relax. It's probably just trying to look good for the summer. Give this thing a break. It's just trying to look good in a bathing suit.
Yeah, that brings me to my next question.
Yeah.
Can manatees get jacked? Like, can a manatee, is there a 6-pack version on a manatee?
Are you thinking like the kangaroo version of the manatee world?
Yeah, by the way, I apologize where this is going.
I just want to know.
I should have
she just looked at me like,
I should have better control of this. But
yeah.
I just want to know if a manatee is capable of like having some pretty sweet lats.
No, man. No.
I mean, I think for the manatees, almost like the other way around. The bigger and the fatter it is, kind of the better. Because you want them to be really big and fat. If I saw one that was, in I don't know what we consider good shape. Maybe that's not such good manatee shape.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think anyone has ever asked me that. So that's a good question.
Welcome to the Jim Colbert Show.
You nailed it.
How far they migrate yearly? I know that we have a lot of them we know about in the St. Johns River. I mean, and St. Johns River runs from Georgia all the way down to like just past Kissimmee in that area there. Is it primarily, do they migrate at all?
Yeah, no, they absolutely do. I mean, in the wintertime, they come to these warm water sources, like Blue Spring and power plants and other springs. In the summer, they're really all around Florida, and they even migrate up to like Georgia, the Carolinas, or Alabama. Now, the Blue Spring ones that we see, we have some individuals that go to Georgia or to all the way down to Miami. So they swim up the St. Johns River, up towards Jacksonville and go out into the Atlantic. So some, stay more local. We do see them during the summer at Blue Spring, but there's a lot of them that just, migrate out.
How many do you guys tag and follow every year?
So that's something that a partner organization of ours does. It's not all that many. There's just a few, that have these satellite tags. So for research purposes.
Yeah.
So for the majority, we just really don't know where they're going. Right now, I think we have about 18 that are tagged in the St. Johns River area, which is, compared to 800 plus, not that many.
And they don't have a natural predator, right? Gators don't mess with them?
They don't, no.
Just us?
Just people, unfortunately, yeah.
Now, speaking of people, Ross.
Oh, I just have so
Come
many.
on, man. You've already asked your dumb questions today. I mean, let me just help you out here. She drove a long way to do this, and she takes this very seriously.
All right. It's kind of a two-parter. Are manatees funny? And if so, what is the hardest you've ever laughed at a manatee?
Wow.
Do manatees do funny stuff?
Absolutely. I mean,
Animals are funny.
Yeah, they are.
Absolutely. I mean, you see them doing all kinds of things at Blue Spring, headstands, rolling around, messing with things that they shouldn't be messing with. The funniest thing, I don't know. I don't know. You put me on the spot there. I don't know.
We'll let you think about it.
But they're
I'll
playful,
come
or
back
don't,
and,
or don't think about it.
They're
at
playful, though?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome. I'm not expecting a manatee, doing a tight five or anything,
Yeah.
but maybe just like floated into a post and was like, oh, I'm a manatee.
Do you have a manatee tattoo?
I don't.
You
no,
don't?
But
Do
I'm
you-
thinking about getting one.
Are you really?
Mhm,
What are you going to get
absolutely.
and where?
Well, so where I'm not entirely sure about
I'm just
yet.
asking,
we'll,
is this
see
an
about
arm
that.
thing? Is it a leg thing? Do you get it on the back of your knee? I don't
It'll
know.
probably be a shoulder thing.
Shoulder
Okay,
thing.
good. Don't
yeah.
do the tramp stamp.
Ah.
Oh,
But it will probably be, so Snooty was the world's oldest manatee, and I got the honor to work with him back in the day, and he was always extremely special to me. So I've always thought about that. But
Getting a tattoo of
hasn't
Snooty
happened.
the manatee.
Absolutely.
Now, manatees.
That would be pretty badass. I have to admit.
Manatees are obviously your number one. But
oh man,
the manatees don't listen to the Jim Colbert Show. You're not going to break their hearts. What is your number 2 animal?
Oh, that's such a good question.
I was due.
I hate that you asked such a good question.
Well, you know what? I think it's probably the hummingbird.
Whoa! I was not expecting that. I was expecting something, another aquarium, like
Aquatic animal?
Aquatic animal.
The survey does not say that.
I
is
love all
awesome.
animals, so,
Oh,
all
man.
animals.
Put a hummingbird on Snooty's back.
Yeah.
That will be the tat of the year.
There's a tattoo for you. No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, before we get out of here, because we are short on time, I want to make sure that you get all the information out about the Save the Manatee Club, where people can join, how they can donate if they want to be part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So they can go to our website, savethemanatee.org. That's a great place to start. We have a ton of information. A really cool thing they can do is adopting a manatee. So they're all real living manatees that we keep track of. So they can join the club and do that. Follow us on social media is a really great way to engage. I manage all that content, so I'm always happy to see more followers. Just, a little plug for my own work. But savethemanatee.org is really the site to go. And, you can call us or email us with any questions you have. We'll be happy.
How about social media?
Social media, yeah, absolutely. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, we're on all of those. We did a lot of live streams today for Manatee Appreciation Day. I think some of my coworkers are currently still doing them while I'm here. So, big shout out to my awesome coworkers covering for me there. So, yeah.
Hey, real quick, I'm so fascinated. When you dealt with that injured manatee at Blue Springs, do you actually get in the water, like in basically like almost like a patient, like caress them or like stay there close? And how do they react to that? Are they naturally accepting of humans because of their natural kind of
curiosity?
Yeah.
Yeah, so manatee rescue can, happen in multiple different ways, but it's usually, we call the partner agency, we come out there with a big rescue boat, and we have this big net that has the float lines on top and lead lines on the bottom. So what we're trying to do is kind of corral the manatee, scoop it up with a net, and then putting it on the boat. Now, that sounds really easy. It is absolutely not.
Yeah, they weigh 400 or 500 pounds or something, right?
That's on the small side. Yeah, so Blue Spring ones can easily get way over 1,500 pounds. So
what
it's quite the adventure, and usually they're not really cooperating, which is a good thing. You don't want them to be caught, and the sicker they are, the easier it is to capture them. Unfortunately.
Wow,
But
man,
1,500 pounds at a top speed of 20 miles per hour.
Buddy, that thing
for a short time.
That sounds like me driving into work.
That's coming at you hot. Well, Cora, thanks so much.
Yes, thank you,
really,
Cora.
and you're always welcome for sure.
And that's the website, savethemanatee.org, would be the same place for maybe summer camps or young people who want to get involved with your work as well?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, guys, put your hands together for Cora Burcham, Director of Multimedia and a Manatee Research Associate with Save the Manatee Club. I'll be making sure that I post the Animal House podcast for everyone to get the information for Manatee Appreciation Day. Good luck with the rest of that. And, of course, keep us posted on everything that you guys are doing.
And by the way, I'm just not saying you have to do this. Just take this into consideration. but a tattoo of Snooty, and Snooty has a tattoo of a hummingbird.
Oh, no. Tattoo of Snooty, and then Snooty has a tattoo of you.
Yeah, that has a tattoo of a hummingbird. It's a mirror looking into a mirror. Cora, as always, thank you very much. Drive safe, and we'll see you soon again, okay?
And as always, Animal House is generously brought to you by Glenn Klausman of Klausman Law. So if you or someone you know and love have been in a car, truck, or even a motorcycle accident, here's a couple of reasons why you should call Glenn Klausman at Klausman Law. One, he is never going to pass you off to a caseworker, but Glenn is going to personally handle your case to the point where he's going to give you his personal cell phone number, and then he's going to pick it up when you call. Just a couple of reasons why year after year he's voted super lawyer and legal elite, but he's also an animal lover and a true friend of the show. So again, if you've been in an accident, give him a call, 407-917-1718, or check him out online at klausmanlaw.com. That's KLAUSMANlaw.com.
Thanks, Deb. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. News stations are going to make a little adjustments when it comes to reporting about hurricanes this year. I'll tell you what that is next.
Winning Wednesdays happen every Wednesday on our Instagram page at Real Radio 1041 with a new prize available every Wednesday. Real Radio 1041 on Instagram is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Klausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Klausman Law. KlausmanLaw.com.
Major problems on the roadways at this hour. Westbound Sand Lake Road is shut down due to a crash between Orange Avenue and Weingard Road. You can use the beach line for an alternate. Northbound 417 is also shut down from a crash between the Turnpike and Landstar Boulevard. Consider Orange Avenue or OBT for an easier ride through these areas. The Turnpike is up to speed. See traffic problems? Make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Pearl Specialties Olives in the Sunny Yellow Jar.
Original MTV VJ Martha Quinn here. Pearl Specialties Olives are bursting with flavor and add the perfect Mediterranean twist to everyday meals and snacks. Rock your recipes with Pearl Specialties Olives. For quality you can trust, look for the Sunny Yellow Jar at your local Walmart.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by Wassey's Meat Market for the lowest price on a big green egg.
Spring is here, and there's never been a better time to find your perfect motorcycle. Orlando Harley-Davidson has the largest selection of new and pre-owned Harley-Davidson motorcycles in the state of Florida. Our showroom is loaded with bikes to fit every experience level. Visit OrlandoHarleyDavidson.com to schedule your test drive and check out a full list of motorcycle inventory plus a huge list of spring events. That's OrlandoHarley.com. Orlando Harley-Davidson, located next to I-4, across from the Mall at Millennia.
On the podcast Inner Cosmos with David Eagleman, the Stanford neuroscientist explores how brain science intersects with our lives, passions, and behaviors. This deep dive into the unexpected facets of our brain science will help you see the world differently.
I'm going to explore the relationship between our brains and our experiences by tackling unusual questions.
Listen to Inner Cosmos with David Eagleman on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
And he was a kid, 4 years old, he had lats. The only way you get lats is from doing prison time and doing pull-ups. He was a bad little kid. He was so evil, his first baby tooth, it came in chipped. Walking around the neighborhood smoking his mama's cigarettes.
Get ready for the comedy of Marlon Wayans, the Microphone Fiend Tour, May 4th at 8 inside Hard Rock Event Center at Seminole Hard Rock Tampa. For tickets, go to Ticketmaster.com or HardRockTampa.com. Don't miss Marlon Wayans, live, Seminole Hard Rock Tampa.
Hey, good morning. You're heading to the airport, right?
Yep, thanks for checking. I like the car. How long have you been a rideshare driver?
About 3 years now. I really enjoy it.
Isn't it hard to make money these days with the price of gas being so high?
Not for me. I use Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get real money back when you get gas with the Upside app?
Yep, I get real cash back every time I get gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
I'll make around $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn real cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code DRIVE for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank account, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code DRIVE for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code DRIVE.
I have 2 dogs, Sam and Bailey. Both are golden retrievers. Poor Sam, he was a mess. Always itching. His paws were soaking wet all day from just constant licking. He had bald spots on his back. I just don't like putting shots and steroids into your dog all the time. DINOVITE.com. Dynovite is nutrition. Probably 2 weeks after he started Dynovite, I started seeing great improvements, and today 99% of his issues are non-existent. It's amazing stuff. Since Bailey has been 12 weeks old, he's been a Dynovite dog, and he has 0 issues today. He won't eat his food without Dynovite. When I get out the Dynovite, my dogs actually salivate, like I'm getting them a treat. They drool over it. Dynovite is the best thing you can do for your dog.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
I get my Dynovite from DINOVITE.com.
Thinking about getting married but nervous about popping the question? IDC owner Keith LeClaire totally gets it.
When I asked my wife, Peggy, to be my bride, I had to drive all the way to Michigan to get married. I was 24 years old. I turned around twice on the way up and turned back coming back to Florida because I'm like, what am I doing? And I knew I had picked the right bride, but it was still scary.
The third time, Keith kept on driving. And now, 43 years later, he and Peggy are living their best life.
I married way above my head. Because of her, we're where we are today with 3 children, 10 grandchildren, and a lot of friends. Having the right partner and being married, it's truly the biggest blessing of my life.
And seeing and helping other happy couples, either just starting out or celebrating milestone anniversaries, is what International Diamond Center is all about.
Life gets better each year that goes by. I'm just so thankful.
International Diamond Center, with 4 Orlando locations, where relationships come first, always.
I love my wife dearly. She's the greatest, biggest blessing that God has ever given to me. There is nothing more important than my wife.
Pray.com's Meditative Prayers podcast is the best way to bring God's perfect peace into your night. Each meditative prayer helps you focus on God, fight anxiety, sleep better, and more.
As you close your eyes, ask God to come and have fellowship with you. Open yourself to the Holy Spirit and ask Him to minister to you.
Listen to Meditative Prayers on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's crazy, but we're doing it. No payments for 6 months at Sutherland Nissan Orlando.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.
Uh, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. I am the Jim part. That is the Deb part.
Hello.
Jack part.
Hello there.
Ross part.
Well, look who it is.
Look who it is. Deb mentioned a little bit earlier in news, hurricane season starts up in June. I know that sounds unbelievable considering it seems like that's all we talk about during the fall and going
Summer.
into winter or summer
Spring.
and all. Especially when a big one hits, and of course that did happen last year.
But that's far away. We're still in January, right?
No, we're almost in April, buddy. I know.
How in the hell?
How much? You mean how's a quarter of the year almost gone?
I do not get that.
My wife and I, we were looking at some dates for the calendar last night. We had one of those TV moments, like a Friends moment, where we both said the same thing, and not a word, we just turned and looked at each other, like in complete disbelief that it was already this far in the year.
Were you looking for dates that maybe you were going to renew your vows? Yes, I will be there.
No, but I've considered that. Let me ask you a quote. It's funny you bring that up, and we can talk about this weather thing in a second.
Because I want to be there when you renew your vows.
I have to tell you. Let me ask about that. I have actually considered that because do you guys remember the NBA player that used to renew his vows every year?
Yeah, we talked about it as a segment
right.
one time.
And you said you can't understand why people would do that.
Exactly. Every year I can't understand it.
Yeah, that's a lot.
But I have to tell you, as I've grown and as I've gotten older, and I've been married to my beautiful wife now for almost 18 years. This year's 18 years.
Nice.
For some reason, I've started to kind of consider that a pretty romantic thing. I wonder how common that is, that people renew their vows and what the number one reason is. We don't have any strife or anything like that. There's been no major bump or anything that we feel like we need to recommit.
That's more of a doctor's thing.
But with this thing, it was just like, I thought it would be kind of sweet.
I'm down.
All right, next
Well,
topic.
Well, no,
You've already got your flower
Sons
girl.
of bitches.
I will be your flower girl. I want to be there.
Was that what you were talking about?
Yeah, when you renew your vows, I would love to be there. A groomsman. I'll cook. I'll do whatever I can.
Why are you so obsessed with this? It seems silly.
I mean,
because-
especially since he offered to cook.
Because you were at my wedding, and I didn't know that you really existed when you got married, and that's mutual. So I want to be there for your special day.
It wouldn't. I don't gotta tell you, man. If I ever did it, it wouldn't be like a thing where we had like a ceremony again.
So in other words, you wouldn't be invited, Ross.
Those vow renewals tend to be more intimate.
All right, just me.
Yeah, just like the person doing it, the officiant,
and maybe your kids.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, let me sneak on in there.
And Code Black and his wife.
If you see a bush move, that's me. I'm watching you.
Oh, I thought you meant like that was a dance move.
No, no.
I was like, you're doing the bush?
Yeah, if you see a bush shake
Hey, now.
and some binoculars shoot out.
Doing the bush is just you dodging shoes.
Ross is the paparazzi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. The Rossarazzi.
I don't know. I
like it.
Are you actually considering this?
Well, the funny thing is, I can't even believe you brought that up. Okay.
Uh-oh.
No. This is a growth thing. This is truthfully a growth thing. We've talked about this before on the show in regards to a number of things. I sometimes do not show enough appreciation in my marriage. All right. Sometimes I take things for granted at times. Right. And I think that's a bad habit a lot of people get into. I have a bad habit of taking things for granted, especially my wife, because just like with your husband or wife or whomever, they're always there. So you just, again, start assuming they're always going to be there. And I do believe I show my wife enough love, and I do believe I do that, but I do believe that recommitment means a lot. I think it does. And I didn't used to believe that. I used to think this is kind of silly. The idea of renewing your vows was kind of silly. And I have completely flip-flopped on that 100% because over the last year, for some reason, I'm like, man, that'd be a really cool little surprise.
Yeah, you get
without her knowing, just invite her somewhere and boom, her dad is who married us, by the way, because of course he's a pastor.
All right, I'll take his spot.
So her father married us. So for us to be able to get the kids together, get Pop there and do the whole thing, I think that would be kind of cool. But I don't know what goes into it. Like I know you don't give them another ring or anything like that. It's purely symbolic.
Do you have your old vows?
Oh no, dude.
Well, how can you renew them?
You have a videotape of the wedding?
Yeah.
You ought to be able to write.
I think we have a DVD of it.
You can write down the vows.
Yeah, there you go.
It has to be the same ones?
It helps.
It might be nice.
It would create a nice basis.
Maybe I should call it the amending of the vows.
I left them out the first time.
That's why you're going to add some stuff. How many people do this, you think?
I don't know. I'm actually looking that up.
Twitter poll?
That's a good Twitter
poll. Yeah, that's
poll.
a really good Twitter poll. Let's just do that. Have you ever gotten your vows renewed? And I wonder what do you think it's for most of the time? Do you think it's for what I'm thinking about, or do you think it's for somebody in the relationship kind of screwed the pooch and they want to make it right and kind of tell their partner, although I've messed up, I want to recommit?
Oh, I think it's all of those and above.
Yeah.
But I think mainly it's probably, like you said, Jimmy, after you've been together for a while, that spark of the beginning is. It's not that it's gone, because
no, it's not gone.
It's not gone.
God, we're more in love than we've ever been. I mean, we touch each other more than we've ever done that. I want you to put that.
All right. Weird flex. We don't need to hear.
I touch her a lot. I see her naked all the time. I want you guys to know that.
Nice.
Can't look in the eye now.
I do have to pay.
I swipe a credit card and everything.
Yeah. Let me ask you. You're a girl.
Thank you.
Let me ask you. Let's assume that you were in a relationship, 18 years, and let's just assume it's kind of like, Tori and I quite well, so blah, blah. Would you consider it romantic if Chris surprised you and like it was just going to be like a date night and you walked in?
Oh my God,
it would be awesome?
Oh, because you're looking around the room and there's all of your children, there's your family, there's your father. It shows a level of thoughtfulness. It shows a level of depth, of emotion, of commitment.
It does, but do you think the other party in the relationship wants to be surprised with it? Like shouldn't they kind of have to go into it? I mean, maybe a surprise saying, "Hey, let's do this."
It seems like,
but they should know in advance.
How is she with surprises?
Well, one of the things that she says in our relationship is I probably don't do that enough.
All right.
Again, because I'm a stereotypical guy, and which means that I go, okay, we're going on vacation this day, and the day before I start thinking about it. So I don't really put thought like that into things. So this would already be way out of the box.
All right.
And I think that she would like a surprise. I'm not sure about this one too, because if she doesn't, it's what you're wearing.
Yeah.
But the thing is aren't part of these things kind of a surprise?
No,
it's always planned.
Well, not always, but I think knowing your partner and knowing like Tori would I think she would prefer to be in on it because, like you said, how she's going to want to look, she's going to want to be mentally prepared.
But you can also take the initiative of having plans, like at least a plan laid out. I thought we could do this, and where she can then feel included, but you showed the initiative of all the thoughtfulness and prep that you put into it.
There you go.
Somebody just texted the perfect thing. Text this question. I hate it when people do this. Please stop texting me logic. She doesn't get to dress up? ?
Yeah,
I hate it when I have a great idea and then somebody throws the smallest, tiniest wrench and it works.
Yeah, you got to think about every possibility. Just let her know. In that situation, I would be like, you know what? Make sure you have your nails done this day.
Or, hey, we're going out to a really, really nice dinner. This is what you're wearing tonight. Kind of like a Richard Gere thing with Pretty Woman. I buy her a dress and send it over. What up? Just bought her some new perfume.
Nice.
Smells amazing.
It's always pretty cool spending money on your significant other, and this is the most important part, and it hitting.
Yeah, that's the thing is I wouldn't want to do something like this and then have her upset. That would be like a TV moment, right? Where the bachelor,
or you go to renew and she's like, no.
The bachelor goes out of his way and gets a limo and she shows up and he's like, oh my God, my parents died in this kind of car. Or whatever.
I can't believe my wife did not appreciate that vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, you're right.
That was a bold move. You need more friends to let you know that was a bad idea.
I think we did a good job.
It makes your life easier.
Yeah. Yours being the key word.
Not even like a robot vacuum. You still got
man.
You got to still push.
I want a surprise though. It doesn't seem to have the same bite. The minute I think about telling her in advance and planning, it just takes the kind of the load out of it.
Well, what would be? I'm gonna move past that. Ideal 3-day weekend for her. Start small with a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Ideal 3-day weekend.
But then you can't, Jack's right, though. You can't build up to, hey, we're going to hit the pool. We're going to go to the spa. We're going to grab some drinks. Oh, and get remarried.
No.
The thing is, I think
start
you guys
small
are right.
with a 3-day weekend.
I can't spring this on her. It has to be a thing where I go, hey, look, I really want to do this. I want to set this date. But then again, that is like, okay.
Well, this is my biggest fear. I put myself in your shoes. If I were to tell my wife, like, hey, we're going to renew our marriage on this day. We're going to renew our vows. It's going to be very romantic.
Uh-huh.
And what she would end up doing is, oh, that's a great idea. So I'm going to plan it. You got to be the planner.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What I want to do is
full-blown plan.
But what I could do is this. Could I plan the entire thing and then say, hey, I have a giant surprise. Get your hair done. Get your nails done. Get something really nice to wear and meet me here. Could I do that? Because one of her dreams, and I'm going to make this happen in the next year or so, is for me to literally, when she comes home from work one day, have everything packed. And she has no idea where we're going and drive straight to the airport to a destination. That's like her favorite thing in the world is when I plan, because inevitably, like a lot of relationships, the woman does all the planning.
Dude, you know what you need to do? Just take her to Paris. Not now. Not now.
When all the trash is out?
Well, because the Eiffel Tower has been shut down.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the protests. Someone texted yesterday when you were doing trivia about the Louvre, about the piles of trash outside the Louvre right now.
Yeah, their sanitation workers are on strike.
But
it's a mess.
If you know, like, where internationally she's ever wanted to go, it's like the movie 50 Shades of Grey or Twilight. You show up, she shows up, wakes up in the morning or whatever, and the suitcases are already packed.
Right, yeah. The problem is the Holy Lands aren't very romantic, and that's where she wants to go more than anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she wants to go there.
The Holy Lands? Like Bethlehem or something?
Yeah, that's where she wants to go more than anything.
That is epic.
Yeah,
See, like, I was thinking that you guys, are toying with the idea of Australia.
Damn it, she's listening.
Australia or something.
She's supposed to be at work.
Hey, rip a page, rip a page from
Why?
the
What
good
is
old Paget book. Take her out.
What did she
What
say?
did she say?
Oh, she's not listening. She's just talking to me about a bill.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yay.
Yeah, she's not supposed to do that, man.
Check this out. Take a page from the good old Paget book right here. Right? It's international, but you got to spend it on a budget. Outback Steakhouse.
Okay, buddy. The Outbook?
Yeah, the
The
Outback.
Outbook?
I haven't been in a while. I actually want to go.
Kookaburra Wings. You're in Florida, but you feel like you're down under.
Well, if that's the case, I should go to Disney Springs and hit one of those themed things, right?
Hey, Typhoon Lagoon is open again.
What's that dinosaur restaurant out there?
I think it's called like Dinosaur Restaurant.
No, come on, buddy. Help me out.
It's called like T-Rex Cafe or something. I'm pretty close.
And I think even renewing your vows at Disney's like $50,000, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you even if you mention vows on the property, they send you a bill.
Exactly.
My wrist thing rang. How much? $1,700. Not bad. I just mentioned it.
Yeah, don't try and do it on the slide.
It could be either $1,700 or half a day at Disney.
That's why I love Jim. My wrist thing buzzed. I'm in debt.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
You know you can always text us, unless you're driving, at 77031. Standard data and message rates apply. Real Mobile is powered by Orange Buick GMC and orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hi, everybody. Good Wednesday to you. Jamie King here, Fox 35 Storm Center. As we approach midday, want to update the Central Florida weather forecast for you. Looks like highs today, upper 70s to right at about 80. A mix of sunshine and clouds with breezy north winds at 10 to 20 for the afternoon and early evening hours. Clearing tonight, cooler temps, upper 50s, light north wind. On our Thursday and Friday, temperatures growing up and out into the low mid 80s for highs. Keeping it dry, mostly sunny skies. For Fox 35, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Jamie King. Take care.
This report is sponsored by Jackson Hewitt. For your guaranteed biggest refund and 50% off tax prep, switch to Jackson Hewitt. 50% off is a limited time offer for new clients filing at participating locations. Max value $200. Visit jacksonhewitt.com/50 for terms.
Man, this is a nice truck.
Yeah, check this out.
What?
I changed it to remind me of my time at sea.
Weren't you in the Air Force?
Yeah, but I really love the ocean.
You could save and get $200 with Navy Federal Credit Union when you refinance your auto loans from another lender, leaving you with extra to spend on other things. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Credit and collateral subject to approval. Refinance loans must be at least $5,000 to be eligible for the $200. Terms and conditions apply. Learn more at NavyFederal.org.
There's a place where spring break is even spring breakier.
Dave & Buster's.
Where there aren't just nachos, there's lasers too.
Dave & Buster's.
And not just jet skis, but jet ski racing games, space games, action games, and even virtual reality.
Dave & Buster's.
And in this reality, it's the spring breakiest. Let your spring break loose at Dave & Buster's.
We buy any car. We buy any car. We buy any car. Any.
Trading in or selling your car, truck, or SUV? WeBuyAnyCar.com takes the hassle out of selling in 3 easy steps. 1. Get a free online valuation. 2. Drive to your local car buying center. And 3. Walk out with a check in about an hour. So don't wait. Get your free online valuation now at WeBuyAnyCar.com.
Find out how much your car's worth at We Buy Any Car.
I'm Mark Anajar. I'm Glenn Levine.
I'm Ellie Anajar.
Together, we're Anajar and Levine, and our team is a triple threat to big insurance companies.
Don't settle with the insurance companies for a fraction of what your case is worth. We'll fight to get you the
That's connecttoyourheart.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Did you know you can now build a low-maintenance deck using stone? With Tanzite Stone Decking. Tanzite Stone does not use any plastic whatsoever. It is decking that's naturally durable, just like everything made with stone. Tanzite Stone doesn't scratch at all. The color will never fade. It is not slippery, even when wet. And it stays cool in the sun. Since Tanzite decking is made of stone, it's virtually indestructible. That's why we guarantee it with a lifetime warranty. Discover how incredibly durable and beautiful a stone deck can be. Go to Tanzite.com. That's TANZITE.com. Online, you'll see how it easily installs over any regular wood deck structure, and you can order a sample to test it for yourself. Build a deck with the durability of stone at Tanzite.com. That's TANZITE.com.
This hour brought to you by Space Coast Jobs Now, coming March 30th.
The Jim Colbert Show returns now on Real Radio 104.1.
Being a realtor, it must be tough to go ahead and just pick up and go like that, but go big and go home. Go to gay party. Busy. Pepe love you. You kiss the girl.
God almighty.
You
God
and
almighty.
your girl. Go to, go to gay party.
I mean, you single-handedly took everything romantic from France and squashed it. You genuinely just ruined Paris for me.
I mean, water parks are dry after that.
Yeah, right.
Was it the nom nom sounds? Nom 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 nom.
It's a multitude of sounds. And then we get this song afterwards, my God almighty. Just melting away into a bear rug with Larry. All right, 407
I dream about it.
1041. You can text us at 77031.
No shame.
That was a talkback, by the way. You can leave one of those as well. Just go to the iHeartRadio app, download it. It's free. Use the Real Radio section to leave a talkback.
And when you get to the Real Radio section, follow us there. And that's
please.
way, when we, when we're there, it reminds you sometimes, hey, Jim Colbert Show's on.
That's right. Hurricane season starting in June. Deb was just mentioning that earlier. And according to Fox 35 here in Orlando, which we love those guys over there, they're saying that the way that they report hurricanes this year could be a little bit different. Do you guys have any? Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to say, actually, it's the National Hurricane Center that has done these new guidelines.
No, exactly. Yeah, Fox 35 was just reporting what they're going to have to, what they're going to start reporting when they talk about hurricanes in the state of Florida. I don't know if this is a national thing. I guess with NOAA, it probably have to be, right? But I think that what they're talking about, Deborah, in this case, when I was reading this story, is how they broadcast information about hurricanes to Floridians. And one of the things that they're going to start changing. By the way, what do you think they're going to change? But because when we watch a lot of hurricane coverage, right? We have to. We don't have a choice.
Yeah.
We do. So with that said, when you watch hurricane coverage, think of some things that you think could make it better for people watching.
Are they going to refer to the storms as they and them?
No, it's not a pronoun thing, but that actually is kind of interesting. No. It is about the storm itself, and it's just where they're going to focus now.
There's no eye. They're not going to focus on the eye. They're going to focus on the eye wall. God, I'm good.
I mean, you're warm.
Okay.
Not the eye wall, but the outer bands. Instead of always like trying to target where it's going to land, it's how about the affected area?
Yeah, what they're going to do is basically kind of a combination of what you guys are saying.
Let's go,
Jack. What they need to do is talk more about the watches, the storm surges, and storm warnings because of what happened in Southwest Florida and Fort Myers and that area when that storm surge, and we all saw that video where in real time it goes from being dry streets to 8 feet of fast-moving water in what seems to be 20 minutes. And that storm surge, we found out also because the coroner down there released how people died, and I was reading that list, and it was horrifying how many of those people simply got caught up in that storm surge and trapped in their own homes. 4 or 5 of them died while trying to climb out windows to safety. And just got hung up or the water got overcome by the water and couldn't get out. And they found them. They're stuck half in and half out of their windows.
And I think at least for me, I always thought the storm surge came in with the storm. So as the storm is coming in, the storm surge is coming in. But my understanding now is that that's not how it works. It's actually on the back end of the storm.
Is it really? I thought it was on the front side. Does it push the water up moving in?
From my understanding is that as that storm turns, you get the wind, you get the rain.
Turns. There you go. Yeah.
And then it pushes the storm surge. So it's almost literally adding insult to already injury.
Yeah, they're also going to talk about the warnings outside of that cone of uncertainty, which we hear about all the time, the cone of uncertainty or the cone of concern. And, of course, we'll see that as they start from where the hurricane is originating, and then they kind of get the track that all the models show, and then they show the cone that they think is going to be affected the most drastically. Well, they're going to pay more attention to what is inside that cone and explaining what that even means, because their studies have shown that even though they talk about this cone of uncertainty and it seems pretty obvious what it is, a lot of people simply are confused by that. They think that maybe, well, if I'm on this part of the cone or if I'm on this part, it's fine. I don't really need to make any preparations. And again, through information they've gathered after Ian, they found that that's not the case at all, that people just simply thought that they weren't in a direct path, they weren't going to be affected negatively.
It's just like, as Ross mentioned about no longer telling where the eye is going to hit, because like we learned with Charlie and again with Ian and even with Michael, if people don't see that line going directly over their house, they just don't think that they're going to be in danger from the storm. Whereas, like Jack said, if you show the total area, all of the miles that's going to be affected by a particular storm, you'll realize that while we may not have been hit as hard by Ian as they were in Southwest Florida, you still had flooding here in Central Florida that we hadn't seen
for months,
not even since 2004.
500-year flood line.
Seminole County. I rode by on my bike ride this morning. I went by houses that still have pods in front of their house.
Yeah.
And, that wasn't in the, Winter Springs was not in that cone.
My best friend, Altamont Springs, she's still renting an apartment because waiting to get contractors. And then the other issue, too, is, you get your money. But it doesn't go as far as you. Especially when you have to replace everything from cabinetry to your bedroom set, to your dining room set, to your living room, and we're 2 months out.
It also says here the National Hurricane Center is expanding its tropical weather outlook from 5 days to 7 days.
Yeah.
So now instead of just 5 days, you'll get 7 days of information and give you, I guess, a couple more days to prepare for where you're going to fall into the cone of uncertainty. And they're going to look at potential development more. That's, in other words, that will be increased in the 5 to 7 day outlook. Once they increase it to 7 days, they can give a better outlook on how strong the hurricane can get, and give you more information ahead of time. The tropical cyclone track forecast cone, called the cone of uncertainty, is going to be explained a little better, because that way you understand that if you are not in the direct line, it does not matter.
Right.
That the destruction can be genuinely horrible just outside that area.
And including that area, Florida seems big until you get one of those monster storms and it blankets the entire state.
Yeah. And it says the names are supposed to recycle around. I guess they do it every 5 years, but there are 4 of the names that they're not going to use, and for good reason. Harvey, Irma, Maria, and Nate. Of course, all were god-awful hurricanes for wherever you were in the U.S. when those hit.
Those jerseys are in the rafters.
Yeah, they are in the rafters,
they
buddy.
Retired the number.
Replacing them will be Harold, Idalia, Margot, and Nigel.
I'm terrified of Nigel.
And the 2020 Nigel's
the badass.
No, that's the one that's got the
That's
machete.
the one.
I don't trust Nigel. I don't like Nigel. Name it something else.
And then they went straight up like 50s for the names this year. They threw it back. This is like Arlene, Brett, Cindy, Don, Emily, Franklin, Gert, Harold, Idalia, Jose, Katia, Lee, Margot, Nigel, the one we don't like.
Yeah, exactly.
Ophelia, Philippe, Rena, Sean, Tammy, Vince, and Whitney. It sounds like a class reunion in P-Town.
Isn't GERD like an acid reflux disease?
Yeah,
That's GERD.
Equally as nasty, though, because GERDs are not good.
But wouldn't you just see a Hurricane Gert that just causes GERD?
Oh, yeah.
I keep thinking about gout.
It's a 6 year basis. Yeah, you don't want gout.
You don't want gout.
I don't
It's a rich person's disease.
What?
They call
it used to
the
be.
king's disease.
King's disease.
Yeah, the royal's disease.
Just too many
fatty foods, creams, and
rich.
Rich stuff.
Causes these crystals to build up on your joints, and it is supposed to be genuinely one of the most eye-popping pains in human existence. Like, it's supposed to be very, very bad, like toothache bad.
Yeah.
My father-in-law used to be a bouncer at a club, and this guy I've seen him drive nails through his hand, pull them out, and keep working. Gout put him down.
Really?
Dropped him to his knees. He said by far the worst pain I've ever experienced in my life was gout.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm telling you guys, I am not exaggerating. I watched this guy shoot a nail through his hand with a nail gun and keep working.
Did it again.
Didn't even think twice about it. Wasn't even a thing. Barely paused. Oh, geez. Nail out, back to work. And this thing dropped him. He said it was awful.
Don't trust Nigel.
Yeah,
I'd rather have gout than Nigel coming our way.
All right. So your information coming in for hurricanes this year is going to be a little bit more defined. So pay attention to it. That way you don't have to die halfway in or out of your window.
Are they still going to do the spaghetti models, right?
Yeah, they'll do all that. They were. By the way, the spaghetti models had a banner year last year.
They nailed it.
They had the spaghetti models killed it last year. I think every one of them was pretty much balls accurate.
I always like when there's one spaghetti.
That's my favorite thing.
That goes, no.
Yeah, I'm going this way.
I think it's going to Mexico.
All 10 of them are over like Cape Coral, and then there's one headed toward Galveston.
Yeah. I'm not about it.
Isn't there one strand that's never right?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Why is he still in the pot of spaghetti?
Yeah, why do you even listen to that guy anymore? One every 4 he goes on with the crowd. Those other ones though, he is going. I'm going to South America. What do you guys think about it?
And this year, can we live it up and maybe have ziti or spirals?
Yeah. No, it doesn't have to be spaghetti.
Elbows.
Exactly. Oh, a nice elbow macaroni would be nice.
All right, 407. That's gonna be a weird path.
Our gnocchi model.
This hurricane's gonna hit them or us. Screwed that up. Sorry. All right, 407 916 1041. Text us 77031. Back in a sec. Look, we get paid for the attempt.
Real radio.
104.1.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
Well, all lanes are open now north on 417 between the Turnpike and Landstar Boulevard. It looks like we still have some heavy traffic left over from an earlier crash heading west on Sand Lake Road. It was also closed between Orange Avenue and Weingard Road. Heavy traffic, too, heading west on I-4 between the Beach Line and State Road 535, as well as eastbound near 535. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477 from the Traffic Center on Page Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Blue Stream Fiber, HOA and condo board members. Bring your community the fastest, most reliable fiber internet while saving up to 50%. With Blue Stream Fiber, your community gains a partner, not just another provider. Start the partnership at bluestreamfiber.com/radio today.
Guys, here in Central Florida, it is really valuable that you have an AC company that you can lean on when times get tough, when your AC stops, and it's July in Central Florida, average like 90,000 degrees. Well, that's why I've had Mills Air on my team for many years now. Ross as well, but hundreds of Central Floridians have done this, and they're wise to do so. 30-plus years of experience here in Central Florida, keeping you nice and cool, says that Mills is the company. Their techs are awesome. They know all these systems inside and out. They have all the parts to repair them. Chances are, first trip while you're there. And, not to mention, they're Carrier factory-authorized dealers that can get you up to $1,275 in rebates towards a brand-new Carrier unit. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier, and certainly turn to Mills Air for everything you need AC. That preventive maintenance plan is a must. Get one now. Family owned and operated, ready to help you right now. 407-277-1159. Online, millsair.com.
Hurry in during Ram Truck Month and discover what it truly means to drive a truck that's built to serve. Ram Truck Month, going on now. And now purchase and get 1.9% financing for 72 months or 10% below MSRP on 2022 Ram 1500 Bighorn models. Not compatible with lease offers or any other consumer incentive offers. 1.9% APR financing for 72 months equals $1,471 per month per 1,000 financed for well-qualified buyers through Chrysler Capital regardless of down payment. Not all buyers will qualify. Residency restrictions apply. Take delivery by 4/3/23.
Here's a top move for hiring a divorce attorney. See how they look and handle themselves on video or audio. Chances are that's them at their best, with editing, setup, and multiple takes. The courtroom is live. Mediation is live. Make sure your divorce lawyer is going to make you look good. At Trenley Kramer Law, we handle family law and divorce. TK Law, one firm for life.com.
The Mattawa Caves is a brand new fiction podcast that marries supernatural horror storytelling with an immersive psychological thriller. Tune in to uncover the chilling story and secrets as old as the caves themselves.
Without monsters, there are no victims, no prosecutions, no defenses, no justice.
Listen to the Mattawa Caves. That's MANTAWAUK Caves on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Were you hurt in a vehicle and want compensation?
When you're injured on the go, just call Mo.
Did an accident leave you in need of representation? injured on the go, just call Mo. When you're injured on the go, just call Mo.
Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney, sung by a non-attorney spokesperson.
Every March, Jersey Mike's turns money from subs into charitable donations.
And March 29th is Jersey Mike's annual day of giving, where 100% of sales are donated to local charities.
And to kick off all that giving, Peter gave me an apron. I'm honored.
Looking good, Danny. We've got subs to make, though.
Yeah. Now I know why you gave me the apron. Join us this Wednesday for Jersey Mike's Day of Giving. Be a sub above.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Haley, quote, Navage is the best thing I bought. I love it. My nose feels so clear now and I can breathe. I've been struggling with a stuffy nose for weeks. I bought Navage and it's amazing. Or this one. I use Navage every night, could not imagine life without it. I have 5 cats and before I found Navage, I was a clogged mess. Now I breathe so much better, unquote. Those are 2 of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, N-A-V-A-G-E, clean nose, healthy life.
It's new car madness. Every new Nissan has insane savings at Sutherland Nissan Orlando.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because your case matters. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. You're listening to WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Available everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. We are an iHeartRadio station. You can watch radio being made on a daily basis at Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
Hey Ross, I told you SpaceX would go on time. SpaceX always goes on time. If it were ULA or one of these other guys, I would be concerned about the launch window. SpaceX always goes on time.
Big Musk fan, obviously.
Let's send him $100,000.
Yeah. 407-916-1041. Text us at 77031. That was a charter school, by the way, Jack.
Yeah. No rules. There's no rules.
I heard that sending back 3 students.
All taxpayer money.
I know. Beautiful, isn't it?
Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb, Jack, and Ross are here as well. Scott Maxwell coming up in about 20 minutes or so. He just sent me a text. Man, have you guys been paying attention to Trump on DeSantis lately?
He said, I saw one quote where he talked about when it came to endorsing him for governor or maybe for running for the House. It's just like, I figured, what the heck.
Yeah, he also said he called him crying, basically in tears, asking for his endorsement in 2018.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's already getting nasty. And, of course, he just had his big thing in Waco. This is former President Trump. On the heels of that really unbelievably good interview with Sean Hannity. God.
I just like how
no other politician could do that, by the way. No other politician on planet Earth could do the interview he did with Hannity and many others and still even show his face at the RNC or anything.
Who's that?
President Trump, former Trump.
I just like how you called it a big thing in Waco, and we're not talking about the big thing in Waco.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
That every time he would take a shot at DeSantis on the stage in Waco, that the crowd really did not react at all. That was like the big story from that rally. Well, Scott was just texting me a second ago during the break saying that it's getting real ugly. I'll let him say the line that Trump dumped on DeSantis here recently, I think today. But it's pretty brutal. And I will tell you something else, too. I find it interesting. Have you guys heard Chris Christie lately?
Just said he's not going to help Trump.
Well, not only is he not going to help Trump, he has been unbelievably critical of him and is now basically saying he's the guy to take on Trump in a primary because Trump is going to absolutely tear Ron DeSantis completely to shreds on a stage, which I don't necessarily believe. I know a lot of people are believing that because Trump is getting a little juice right now, and DeSantis doesn't seem to be doing a lot or saying a lot in the face of all these insults. But I think that's part of the plan because Trump has way too many targets. And I'm just interested to see when somebody does start taking this guy out, and somebody's gonna. somebody in the some Republican is going to run, and they're going to run on the base that they're just going to hit this guy head on, whether it be Chris Christie or whomever. It doesn't matter, but somebody's going to do it.
Is that going to be in a calculated move to purposely benefit Ron DeSantis, or do you think someone will take that approach thinking they can beat Trump?
I believe Christie believes that his technique is the one that's going to gain him the power in the in the Republican Party. I just don't see Chris Christie electable in the Republican Party for the primary. I just don't think he can make it there. Everybody's too trumped out on him, and he's really down on him. Has been for a while. So I don't think it's going to really work for him. I think DeSantis has the best chance of beating him at a primary, but he's going to have to start showing some teeth. He's going to have to start doing it because Trump is not going to stop. This is his MO. This is how he does things. I mean, ask anybody he ran against in 2016. All you have to do is just go back to that Shane Gillis bit and realize this guy called another candidate's wife ugly on stage. A 70-year-old man stooped to middle school insults to another entrenched senator in one of the reddest states in the nation.
You ready for the kicker?
And this guy straight up called his wife a dog to his face on stage. And guess what?
Won.
It worked.
Yeah.
And that senator has since come around to support Trump.
Yes. So when you can beat that, when you can define that and figure that problem out, maybe you have a shot. But until then, you don't.
Can you imagine if your name was anything like Chris Christie? He had to have got, like, imagine if your name was Jim Jimmy.
Yeah.
Deb Debbie, Jackie.
I went to high school with a girl named Candy Kane.
Ooh.
2 Ks. 407-916-1041. So Apple's got some new news out there. Interesting. Have you guys heard anything about the new Apple program?
No.
Are we talking about Apple One?
Nope.
Okay.
Now, usually when Apple releases information, it's regarding tech, right?
Yeah.
Some advancement they've made with the iPhone or maybe with one of their new laptops, a new chip or something, or maybe a longer battery life. That's not the case.
Apple TV, by the way, is becoming one of my favorite streaming applications. I love their products. I love their shows.
Yeah.
It is it's a very good service.
It's the biggest company in the world. It should be a great service.
I mean,
I believe it's the highest valued company on planet Earth. They should be getting it right.
Yeah, but are you talking about content?
I'm talking about the content on Apple TV is just Apple TV Plus. God, why'd they have to do the damn plus signs?
Yeah.
Great content from Ted Lasso to Schmigadoon.
Right, yeah.
To Shrinking.
Well, they definitely have the assets.
Think about this. Apple TV is fairly new, and then they won the Oscar for Best Film before Netflix did last year with Coda. It just is insane.
Yeah. Well, they only do it at the highest level.
But
so, I mean,
I'm a fan. I hate to tell it. I'm an Apple guy. Feed me.
So this new product, it's a new offering. It's not a new product per se. You can't go and buy it or anything. It's a new offering on your already existing Apple products. What do you think it is? I'll give everybody one shot.
Oh.
And by the way, it's not a tech thing. It's not a tech thing. It's not it's not a toy or anything like that. It's a new service they're offering on Apple.
This is arcade. This isn't the bundle with arcade.
This is not the arcade bundle. No,
Apple TV, and
this is going to be much more usable for almost everybody, regardless of where you are technologically. This is going to serve you well.
Your social media shuts down after 1 hour of use.
No, that's great though. You're the last blast.
Oh. Mental health hotline.
Boy, that's a great guess. That is not the case, though, but actually a really good guess. Like a hot button?
Yeah.
That would be a really good idea. No. Apple is unveiling its new short-term, no-interest payment program called Apple Pay Later. So check this out.
Oh, it's like layaway, Apple style.
Apple's doing loans now. Short-term, small loans, no interest, no points, no nothing.
Wow.
Like on houses?
No. Giving Apple Pay users a new way to manage their finances. Apple Pay Later allows users to break their purchases down into 4 payments over the course of 6 weeks. So let's say you want to go get that TV, right? Instead of dropping that $1,000, it sounds a lot better to drop that down into like 4 payments of what, $300, something like that. If it's $1,200, like $250. So instead of now paying $1,000, you go to Apple Pay Later, and you basically get your product. And you're not financing it. This is run by MasterCard, though, but it's not financing because it doesn't affect your credit. Like, you don't have to, it's not a credit hit. So up to $1,000 and as little as $50, you can get the things you need, and Apple will allow you to pay that back in incremental payments over the period of 6 weeks. So every week and a half or so, you'll send them in a payment for whatever a quarter of that is.
Wow.
I mean, I guess that's cool. I have a feeling other companies have been doing this.
Have they really? Like
I don't know about
in-house, like in-house. Those companies have, like T-Mobile has an in-house financing company.
I mean, I go ahead, Jack.
So, well, Apple does because they have Apple Pay and the Apple Card also through MasterCard. Thank you. But so it's a perk for getting Apple. So if you are looking at the reasons and your pros and cons between Apple and the latest Samsung phone, maybe this is something that says, oh, well, look,
Yeah.
I can borrow money when I don't have it.
And it says that you do have to apply for this.
Yeah.
So there are some credit issues there. I'm sure you have to kind of qualify for it. It says users must apply for Apple Pay Later for loans of $50 to $1,000. Some users will get invited to an early preview of the service in a pre-release version of Apple Pay Later. If accepted, Apple Pay Later will become available in Apple Wallet, and it may be used on iPhones or iPads. It will not affect your user score. I'm interested to see if you don't pay it back, what happens.
Yeah, Texter says, so Apple's getting into the loan sharking business, but they're not. They're not charging an interest.
There's no fee or anything.
Yeah.
All I wonder is what happens if you don't make the payment. Like, let's say I buy that TV, and just for easy purposes, it's $600, and I break it out into four payments of $150 a piece, and I miss payment 2.
They turn off your phone.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And that's what I'm saying. That's probably what's going to happen, right? They'll have to affect your device. That's the only way they can really do that.
Recoup, yeah. I'm not judging anybody who's taking out a loan for like a TV and all of that. I just know that there's not a bone in my body that could do that.
Well, think about this, though. I mean, you're not saying TV, but what in the dead of summer? In the dead of summer, your AC goes down, and the repair is $600, $700.
Mm-hmm.
You're a school teacher. You're out of work for that time. You can afford it. You just can't afford it all right now. I mean, the ability to do that, not put it on a credit card at 18%, 25% sounds pretty darn good. But it does sound pretty complicated though, because I'm really. It doesn't mention what happens if you don't make the payment. That's not included in the story.
Yeah,
yeah, but I mean, I'm guessing it's going to be bad.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's more than a strongly worded email.
Yeah. Look, I can't imagine. Could you imagine like getting your phone shut down because you didn't make a payment on your Apple loan? And that's what they have to do. There's no way they're going to be, okay, well, maybe you'll get it next time.
Like, I don't.
I mean, they're going to cut your phone off, buddy. It's going to be bad news.
I don't want to owe money to Apple.
And how about this? The irony of them cutting your phone off, and that's how you pay your bill.
Oh, man. It's like a homeless guy trying to get a job, and he looks at the address.
Yeah.
And he goes, what?
When you don't have your phone, and that double verification now is everywhere, right?
With everything.
You leave your phone, you don't have your phone on you, you try and log into something, it's like, oh, we just sent the code to your phone. It's like, oh.
I could not do my job. I could not log into anything that I use for this radio station. Every single thing is verified by my phone by, what do they call it? Verification. Dual, is it dual or double verification or whatever?
Both work.
Multiple?
That too.
Two-factor, there you go.
Two-factor authentication.
Yeah, very nice. We used to say authentication.
You're right.
Yeah, I used to throw an F in that, but...
So did I. Authentication.
And I don't give it.
I have improved.
Yeah.
Ding me.
There you go, man. Apple
Come on, Jack.
Apple Pay Later.
Ooh.
Get ready for digital debt.
The coveted dawn.
I think I'm going to get it, and I'm just going to buy really small stuff with the payments. Like, I'm going to go get something for $51. Hey, man, can you break this down into like 417s?
A real easy way that I've seen on the internet of getting a lot of likes is that you try to find the smallest item, monetarily wise.
That works.
That was close.
It barely worked.
Close.
That works.
Close.
Okay,
That was a squeaker.
I'll take it. But you buy like a $5.
That's a tech school sentence.
You buy like a $5 thing, but you do like a 4-month easy plan on it.
Yeah. $1.25.
So it takes like 5 months to buy like a 4-pack of Hot Pockets.
No interest.
Yeah. You're
All
really
right.
sticking it to the man.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Our buddy Scott Maxwell up next from the Orlando Sentinel. Hang loose.
Winning Wednesdays happen every Wednesday on our Instagram page at Real Radio 1041 with a new prize available every Wednesday. Real Radio 1041 on Instagram is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
Well, we're looking at pretty much stop traffic westbound on I-4 between Osceola Parkway and 417. It's also heavy between World Drive and 429, as well as between the Beach Line and Central Florida Parkway. If you're traveling eastbound on I-4, expect delays approaching Osceola Polk Line Road. It's very heavy between State Roads 536 and 535. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477 from the Traffic Center. I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. Shopping for new blinds? At Blindster, we offer over 50 different blinds, shades, and shutters at low prices, custom made for your windows, and shipping is free. Shop at home and order 10 free samples of any product before you buy. Blindster.com.
Twitter poll is up. The Jim Colbert Show question of the day, and this one is about renewing your vows. You find it on Twitter at Real Radio 1041. Follow us there. Just look for the blue check mark. It's also brought to you by WeAreNotTheBanks.com. If you're ready to start looking for a new home, or maybe you want to refinance the one that you currently have, you need Brad Siebert at WeAreNotTheBanks.com. They have loans for all types of buyers. You got good credit, awesome. But if you have bumps in your credit, life happens. They can still work with you. They deal with all types of loans, VA loans, conventional loans, jumbo loans of all sizes, even no income documentation loans. Now, that is WeAreNotTheBanks.com. I used them for my refi several years ago. It was a great process, got a great rate. Thank you, Brad. Just go online for all your mortgage needs. So again, the website is WeAreNotTheBanks.com. Get started today. NMLS ID number 1169, Equal Housing Opportunity.
This earful of Real Radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Spring into a new Mazda at Daytona Mazda with over 200 new Mazdas to choose from. Check out the new 2023 Mazda CX-5 or CX-9 today. And with rates as low as 0%, there's never been a better time to get into a new Mazda with our complimentary lifetime powertrain warranty. Daytona Mazda is prepared to make the car buying process as streamlined as possible. Out of respect for your valuable time, stop on by Daytona Mazda at the Daytona Auto Mall today at I-95 and LPGA, or shop online at DaytonaMazda.com.
On the podcast Inner Cosmos with David Eagleman, the Stanford neuroscientist explores how brain science intersects with our lives, passions, and behaviors. This deep dive into the unexpected facets of our brain science will help you see the world differently.
I'm going to explore the relationship between our brains and our experiences by tackling unusual questions.
Listen to Inner Cosmos with David Eagleman on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You've heard of a pro tip. Here's a mo tip. Get uninsured motorist coverage. If someone hits you and hurts you, they don't have to have insurance to compensate you. Uninsured motorist coverage helps protect you. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Preventive maintenance on all brands, and that saves you money and can detect an upcoming breakdown. Visit millsair.com.
There's a place where spring break is even spring breakier.
Dave & Buster's.
Where there aren't just nachos, there's lasers too.
Dave & Buster's.
And not just jet skis, but jet ski racing games, space games, action games, and even virtual reality.
Dave & Buster's.
And in this reality, it's the spring breakiest. Let your spring break loose at Dave & Buster's.
Dale, who are you? I'm you. I'm Future Dale. Navy Federal Credit Union sent me. Listen, your future depends on something important. Like saving the world? No, I said your future, not the future. You need to start saving with Navy Federal so you can buy your dream house.
With savings resources, no monthly fees, and accounts for your every need, you can plan for your future at NavyFederal.org. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Open to the armed forces, the DoD, veterans, and their families. Insured by NCUA, an equal housing lender.
If you're struggling to lose weight, here's good news. It's called RM3 for Red Mountain Weight Loss. RM3 is a natural hormone that burns fat from your belly, hips, and thighs, helping you lose up to 20 pounds or more per month. It's safe for men and women, and it's not a stimulant, so you won't feel nervous or jittery. This patented medication is available only by prescription, and you can only get it at Red Mountain Weight Loss. Experience our world-class, medically supervised weight loss programs from the comfort of your home or office. Your online consultation is safe, secure, and we ship our patented medication direct to your door. It couldn't be easier to lose weight quickly, safely, and effectively. Come see why over 500,000 people have trusted Red Mountain to help them lose weight. Schedule your appointment by dialing pound 250 from your cell phone right now and using the keyword Red Mountain Weight Loss. That's pound 250 keyword Red Mountain Weight Loss. Lose 20 pounds by this time next month with RM3 from Red Mountain Weight Loss.
This hour of programming brought to you in part by FAS Windows and Doors.
Apparently, Facebook is still a thing. Search gym members and join our group.
Sick. Let's go. Dress ready to impress. Fresh up in my Louis suit. Step up in the club.
We love seeing people go to work and earn their way through life, and we love seeing it everywhere. We do job fairs here in Central Florida all the time. Deb just did one recently, and we're doing another one. The Space Coast Job Fair will take place at the Florida Marketplace Mall. That's 1328 South Babcock Road right there in Melbourne. Thursday, March 30th. Of course, that is tomorrow from noon until 4. For more information, simply go to spacecoastjobsnow.com. That's spacecoastjobsnow.com. Click on the Get More Info. That's spacecoastjobsnow.com. That's tomorrow, guys. If you're on that side of the world, from noon until 4 p.m., go there and get yourself a job. I know that a lot of people come out, a lot of vendors come out there looking for qualified help.
And they're going to have a bunch, including some major players over there in Brevard County, and we know our audience is pretty huge over there.
SpaceCoastJobsNow.com for all the information. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
Greg is here.
Hi.
So is Ross.
Well, look who
and
it
every
is.
single Wednesday around 5:20, we invite this guy. His name is Scott Maxwell, writes for the Orlando Sentinel. You can find him in those pages on Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays, and, of course, every day, all day on Twitter at Scott_Maxwell. Good and loud for Mr. Maxwell, guys.
Yay!
Oh, yeah! Hey, what's up for grabs at those job fairs? I'm not sure how long this newspaper thing is going to work out.
Don't say that.
All right. All right. You got to listen, buddy, you are just a mic away from a podcast. By the way,
then I could be rolling in $5s of dollars.
Did you see the other day when you put the picture of you and Kassab and I forget who the other person was?
Jason Garcia.
Jason Garcia. Yeah. That's right. Two of the great writers from the Sentinel, and one that was formerly there for years, Beth Kassab. And I said, and I was like, that looks like a fun podcast. I'd listen.
Oh yeah, you did say that. Yeah. And Jason actually does a podcast. It's deep in the weeds, but I think it's got some good stuff.
I just signed up for his newsletter this week. 'Cause he follows the money.
Yeah,
he follows the money in Florida politics.
That's smart. That's where the demons are.
Yeah.
In fact, he's the one who's digging up there are a bunch of them, but when there was that social media crackdown and somehow it exempted it applied to all media companies. Somehow there was a little phrase that was inserted that said, "Unless you own a theme park."
Right, exactly. Right.
Jason was the one who got the records that showed it was Ron DeSantis' staffers swapping notes with Disney lobbyists, saying, "Hey, we need a carve out here, bud. We don't want to be pound." They're like, "Oh yeah, what do you want? Here's $50,000, by the way." They gave him. What can we do for you?
By the way, it's so funny because the text you just sent me a minute ago regarding Trump's attack on Ron DeSantis has been going on now for about, probably about a week and a half or so, where he's really kind of pushed the pedal down. He obviously sees DeSantis as his number one contender for the primaries there. And it's interesting because when this Disney thing hit, and when you look at after the fact what really happened with the Disney thing, I told you, and we agreed up front, this is purely for the cameras. This is purely for the cameras. When it's all said and done, chances are Disney isn't going to be really affected all that much, but it's going to sound good for the talking points. And I got to tell you, buddy, I think this is going to backfire on him during the primaries when you really have to answer tough questions on a stage from legitimate moderators. This thing could wind up turning out to be a nightmare for him. It really could.
You are not the first person to make that. I was sort of taken away. I don't know how much you guys got to talk about it because this story is just breaking. But for those who maybe missed it or missed earlier segments, this is the newly installed Ron DeSantis board that's supposed to be controlling Disney. The corporate kingdom has come to an end. That was the big declaration that Ron DeSantis, people like you and I, said back then. Like this has been codified into law. There might be ways to take things away. And by the way, I don't think Disney ever should have had a special district. There should have been ways, but they did not do their due diligence. They just started, just sort of like they barned and like a bull in a china shop into anything. And they said, we're going to just declare it over. Well, first of all, we already know the district is not over. Disney absolutely still has its own special district that's just run by these guys. And then they got in, and it's almost like they didn't get the papers from Ron DeSantis about how they're supposed to act like tough guys, because they got into their meeting and they just said, hey, dude, we got pantsed.
Yeah.
Mickey just hosed us.
Yep.
Apparently at a meeting, which, and this is all still breaking, but at a meeting that was publicly noticed, put on agenda, live streamed for everyone in the world to see, the previous board, while Team DeSantis wasn't paying attention, signed a new contract that basically says, hey, when the new guys come over, they don't get any power until I think it's the current King of England's been dead for 21 years.
Right.
That's actually what it says.
It's
Oh
so,
my God.
It's so unbelievable. And then you sent me the thing now. Now, when you're going up against like Donald Trump, and that's who you're going up against, the last thing you can give this guy is any firepower. Obviously, the stuff with Medicare and the retirement age is now a major talking point for Trump against DeSantis. That's all he talks about on True Social when he slams him. It comes up every single time. And now the big thing was the tweet you just, or the text you just sent me. Tell him that thing.
So everybody, in Florida is going, oh my God, they just got stomped. And the head of Donald Trump's super PAC put out this statement. Quote, President Trump wrote Art of the Deal and brokered Middle East peace. That's debatable, but they brokered Middle East peace. Ron DeSantis just got out negotiated by Mickey Mouse.
Oh.
So
and be what? And for us, that's a laugh, right?
Yeah.
Imagine that statement on a national stage, on national television, in front of every voter in America that's willing to watch. How much impact that has. And for a guy that's not willing to show his teeth in a fight with Donald Trump and doesn't defend himself for any decisions, you just get steamrolled. And that's exactly what's happening. I'm literally waiting for the moment where this guy wakes up one morning and goes, okay, that's enough. It's time for offense, and see what happens. But as of right now, we've seen none of that from the DeSantis camp. We still think the turtle in the head in the sand theory is going to work with Trump. Trump is never going to stop ragging this guy. It's his MO. It's what he's done.
Let me throw this out there and expand it a little bit. You are absolutely right that they do not know how to handle Trump, but I'm going to submit they just don't know how to handle people who fight back.
Yes.
And I'm going to put Disney in that category, because Ron DeSantis and the current Republicans, they've been picking on pretty weak targets lately. Transgender teenagers, a Democratic prosecutor in Tampa Bay, sort of culture war stuff. They've been going against people that pay legal bills by the millions. And that's what they're running into here, and it kind of looks like it's frying their brains.
And when these Republicans in Florida wake up, and eventually they will wake up and understand these culture wars and this woke stuff isn't lowering their insurance rates, it's not making their life any better whatsoever, and they finally start looking at the numbers in the books and they go, oh man, we got duped. We got duped by a guy who stood up on a stage and talked about what books are in schools and how these transgender kids are hurting you. The whole time you're ignoring what's really happening in the state, and you can't afford insurance on your house anymore. So now you're flipping a coin during every hurricane, praying to God that you don't get blown over and have your entire livelihood wiped out in about 10 seconds.
But at least that one trans kid can't read that one book.
Right.
It's so dumb. I don't understand.
By the way, we may see that what you're talking about, Jim, during this next hurricane season. Pray to God we don't get a big one. But I know you've seen the stats. I'm getting goosebumps while I say this. The number of stats of people who have decided just to go naked.
That's right.
Who have absolutely no insurance on their house. It is mind-boggling, and it is absolutely disastrous.
You're about to see a travesty in this state. I'm telling you, I said this before, by 2035, but I'll even back it in more. In the next 5 years, you're going to see people driven into bankruptcy by storms, because of exactly what Scott just said. You can't afford the insurance anymore. Deb was reading stories today, and my mother-in-law was telling me about it the other day where the rates have gone up 3 times at her house. Well, after a while, you're paying 2 mortgages now.
Yeah.
After a while, your mortgage is $1,500. Your damn insurance payment is $1,000.
Yeah, look at everybody that just had to move over to Citizens because their insurance company became insolvent. You're looking at a 12% increase November 1st, and then another 13% 2 months later on January 1st, and that's just one insurance company.
And
but
that's
again,
one
like
insurance
Ross said,
company, and they're going to bounce a lot of their other people off onto the higher rates that they can't afford. And Jim, I'm going to tell you something. I thought about you. I just turned in a column. I just posted it. It will be in tomorrow's paper. I'm going to submit, honestly, that it is written sort of with the Jim Colberts of the world in mind, because what I'm writing about is how absurdity has just become the new norm in Florida. And all I'm asking is, I say, just look at like the stories that have made the headlines just in the last news cycle. Like in the last 3 days, we got some school principal up in Tallahassee who said she was forced to resign because one parent, or maybe a couple of parents, complained that she was showing porn at the school. The porn she was showing was Michelangelo's statue of David.
Right.
Over in St. Pete, there is a school that has banned Disney's Ruby Bridges because a single parent said it would make people uncomfortable. We've got, I don't know if you saw this story. I don't think this one's getting enough attention. The city of St. Pete, after abortions were outlawed, said they were going to give some money to citizens who wanted to leave the state to get their abortion. The Florida legislature has proposed defunding the entire city of St. Petersburg, Florida, denying them of all state money. And then lastly, the fourth one that just happened yesterday, Randy Fine, who is just like a walking, talking, sweating, cussing version of absurdity, now says Ron DeSantis has asked him to be the next president of Florida Atlantic University. FAU, by the way, having a hell of a good week before this happened in the Final Four for one of only 2, the first time a Florida school's been up there in forever, along with Miami. And they get this sort of buffoon guy, a guy who's called his school board opponent a whore, who got into a fight with the Special freaking Olympics.
Yeah, he's the worst.
Yeah, but I mean,
they love him over there, though.
You've got Corcoran that's already been put in charge of another private college. This is all part of pushing the agenda actually into the educational institutions themselves outside of the laws of Tallahassee.
Ironically, under the claim of fighting indoctrination.
Exactly.
Yet introducing it
again. I just don't know what happened. I don't understand what happened to the party. It used to be really about the numbers. It used to be about the numbers.
And that's what I'm saying, Jim. And every time I write this column, a column like this, I end it with a plea for the sensible conservatives to take the party back. And I'll often quote these people. I'll talk to a Tony Jennings of the world who say, yeah, this isn't how we used to do this. Former lieutenant governor, Senate president, very solid Republican. And then the liberals come at me and say, you're trying to be both sidesism with this, Scott. There aren't any sensible conservatives left. And I say, no, I know they are. But I got to tell you,
yeah,
there is a vacuum right now.
Yep.
There is nobody of any influence that's saying, you know what, guys, maybe let's do insurance versus trans kids.
Because they lose that influence. They'll lose that influence.
But there is no gray area, though. There's no gray area in the Republican Party now. You can't be me. Republicans hate me. I'm a rhino. I'm the worst possible kind of Republican you can be. I'm a logical Republican who wants everybody to simply earn their way, do what you say you're going to do, keep your government out of my business, and let me do my thing. Make sure that businesses can run to keep people employed. It's simple things. It's usually numbers. It's fiscal. As a rule, I don't get into moral arguments with people because in my world, in my Christian life, you deal with that with God after the fact.
Yeah.
I can suggest things for you to do. That's my witness as a Christian. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do this. Much like my wife does not believe in abortion. Do we believe you should take them from people? No. Because that's your decision and you live with that after the fact. You deal with that with your personal relationship with God, your God, or whomever that may be. It's not my job to determine whether or not you're doing right or wrong on this earth. We do the things that we know are detrimental, the 10 Commandments stuff, but man, you get so far out of that. And then you start getting looked at like something else. You're not even really considered what you are to begin with.
Well,
and then you have no identity whatsoever.
Well, the problem is that politically, none of this is going to help families avoid bankruptcy after the next hurricane season. And this is,
or keep your food costs down, or get you a job, or make sure the roads are okay, or any of the things that we're supposed to be doing with the money that we pay with our taxes.
And that's on, that's including the millions of people who move here every month that continue to put strain on the infrastructure, on the water, on all of the other resources.
I can't wait to see when people start filing bankruptcy, when their houses are destroyed by flooding or storms, and they start writing letters to the government, what they're going to ask, what they're going to say. What do you say if you're a politician who has spent all your time banning books and stuff and not really tackled the problem that's really affecting most Floridians right now as we move into yet another hurricane season? That's the issue.
We've already run through one round of this, and I don't think it got enough attention. When Ian came through, I can't remember the statistic, Deb may remember, but the vast majority of those claims were flood claims. And the reason the federal government had to step in is because the vast majority of Floridians have made a choice to not get flood insurance. Now, I may be sympathetic to that choice. They may not be able to afford it, but they made a choice, and it was a government bailout, if you will, for all these homeowners who could not or decided not to get flood insurance. We saw that on a small scale. It's going to be a massive scale when it's your whole damn house.
You know what a hurricane doesn't realize? How you vote. A hurricane doesn't care about what you voted for or who you voted for. Floodwaters don't give an F who you support. They're coming for your property, man. And let me tell you, it's going to happen again. Whether you believe, well, here's the thing. Let me say this. I have to say it this way. That way I can maintain some respect with my Republican friends. Regardless of why you think the earth is warming, regardless of why you think the earth is warming and the oceans are rising, regardless of why you think that's happening, we know it is happening. The science is there. We know you can look at the numbers and see that it's happening. You can see the ice melting. It doesn't look like it's going to reverse anytime soon. So my thing is, it doesn't have anything to do with who you vote for or what side you choose when it comes to things like this. Why do we allow that to have such a big impact on things that affect every human, regardless of your political stance? That's the thing I don't understand. And then again, politics is simply negotiating who spends your money on what. That's the entire job. You pay your tax money in. These people that you hire spend your money for you. That is their job. You elect people to spend money on what you think is the most important. That is your job. And when people start realizing the people they're voting on aren't spending their money wisely, and I say this all the time, Scott, would you use that logic in any other aspect of your life? Would you hire an accountant that is completely inept to manage your portfolio? You would not do that. Why would you elect somebody that would do that then? But you feel obligated.
If you can't pay your insurance and you go to a state legislator and you say, hey, I'm concerned about being able to stay in my house, and that representative said, yeah, but I'm going after the drag queens that performed at the plaza. Why would you reelect that person?
I might be homeless, but at least my kid isn't reading about gay penguins.
Right, yeah. And not to mention, and I have a total different thing on the drag show thing either, but it goes back to what we were talking about on my porch one day, Scott. I should not be able to tell you to do that. And the other thing, too, that's the Orlando Philharmonic. You're taking the alcohol.
That is exactly
You're taking your alcohol license from the Orlando Philharmonic. Yet another art program that's going to get shafted over nothing. Oh, God almighty. Anyway.
I have a
feeling. But how about FAU?
Yeah,
huh?
all right.
Baby.
All right. I'm sure Randy Fine has his flag flying.
I would think that Orlando's got to be not the most beloved city in Florida when it comes to our political leaders.
Oh, no, I think, I think we're the blue dot, right?
It is bizarre. We are now bluer than I think it's like even Broward County.
Yeah.
Definitely than Tampa, which used to be. There are very few bright blue dots. Miami has gotten more Republican. South Florida has a general. Yeah, we are solidly blue here in Orange. Solid blue in Osceola. Seminole is actually one of the few purple legit purple places. But yeah, we are not like the rest of the state. But what we're increasingly realizing, and what we talked about a little bit last week, is I don't think the rest of the state is like the rest of America. The rest of America, and I think that's part of why Ron DeSantis is struggling a little bit, because the rest of America is going, why do you keep talking about Disney and drag queens?
Right, yeah.
We got a war in Ukraine going on, and we're worried about what Russia might do after they're done with Ukraine if they're able to take over that place.
And by the way, that Ukraine gaffe was another major kink in the armor for this guy, for Ron DeSantis. And the reason why is this. You're running to be president of the United States, which includes dealing with international, global issues with allies, against allies, whatever the case may be. And to watch him make such a flip comment about Ukraine being a territorial issue when other ranking Republicans have said exactly the opposite, and then watch him back up so fast, educated voters pay attention to that. We're like, wow, man, that was fast. You didn't even attempt to defend that?
Right.
You just immediately bailed because you knew there was going to be some static? Is that what you want in a leader? Somebody who will just spit something out, and then the minute it goes awry, you bail on it? You don't have any spine to stand up to it? I mean, if you're going to make a statement like that, make a statement like that and then give me some meat. Tell me why.
Yeah.
Don't immediately throw it in reverse and hammer it. God damn.
And let me leave you with this sort of last thought of why DeSantis' world is problematic right now. Trump, for all his many faults, and my goodness, I could cite a laundry list of them in my estimation anyway. Right now, Donald Trump is trying to talk policy. He's hammering DeSantis on Social Security and Medicare, while DeSantis is doing drag queens and trans kids. You're getting out right. That's when they need to realize the wheels are coming off.
That is such an interesting take. Good job. I hate talking to you.
Yeah, it's all good.
I absolutely hate talking to you. All right, I got some bourbon. You got to come out and help me drink it, buddy. I got some Elijah Craig.
That is the kind of friend I am, sir.
Hey, this is barrel strength, though. I don't know if you have to cut it with a little water or something. I don't know.
I freely admit I like it on the rocks. So
right,
I'll take my wussy licks with that.
All right, you guys give it up. Scott Maxwell.
All right.
Yay! I got my smart on.
Orlando Sentinel Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And, of course, every single day on Twitter at Scott_Maxwell. Scott, good seeing you, buddy. Have a good weekend.
Talk to you next week.
All right, buddy. Bye. He's the worst. That's the worst. You know, the funny thing is, of all the people that I'm friends with that are Democrats, that's the one. He's the one I get the most guff about. How could you be friends with Scott Maxwell? He ain't nothing but a damn liberal commie. I'm like, you should talk to the guy. He's pretty smart. I mean, I don't agree with everything he says, but I know he's a super smart guy and puts a lot of thought into stuff. I mean, he doesn't write this column for its fun. I mean, he genuinely believes the stuff he's writing.
I think what's most important about Scott is that he's putting in all of the elbow grease for what he's talking about.
Yeah.
This isn't somebody who's like, oh man, I read this one time. It's like, no, I wrote it.
Yeah, it's evident by the fact that he will not reference something that he doesn't know exactly, or he'll say a disclaimer saying, hey, look, this is how I remember it, but you can double check the information. I mean, his integrity is second to none when it comes to finding out the information. I just know that personally. Yeah. But I know a lot of people that are friends of mine that are Republicans do not like him. They are not fans.
Well, you know what? When you have someone who has opposing views and they are intelligent and articulate and that well read on the topics and can really untie all of your arguments, that's frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
And that causes people to say, "Oh, I don't like that."
And look, yeah. Scott and I we disagree about the drag thing. Like, yeah. I don't believe 5-year-olds and 7-year-olds should see drag shows, because I've been to drag shows. I know what they are. But I don't believe that you should tell a parent they can't, because that's the nature of, that you should just let them do their thing. If they have to deal with that, you don't. It's not your kid. Like, I don't believe that, but I don't believe you should go to them. As a parent, if I see you walk into a drag show with your 9-year-old, I'm judging you. I'm going to look at you sideways. It's going to be different. That's going to be a different take for me. We disagreed on everything. I think we disagreed on the vaccine stuff a little bit. But the thing is we understand that we just have different takes based on sensibilities. It has nothing to do with us disliking each other as people. It's just different sensibilities. God almighty. Just a nice conversation. No problems whatsoever. Have a cigar, tap our glasses, and be on the way. All right, 407-916-1041. Load them up. We'll do trivia next.
We have a prize. You have a phone. Get on board at 407-916-1041. Jim Colbert Show Trivia is brought to you by Cento Family Moving and Storage. That's CENTO moving.com.
This is Super Bowl champion Alfred Williams. Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Mercedes-Benz.
A frontrunner has yet to emerge as Florida's starting QB during spring practice. Coach Billy Napier says Graham Mertz and Jack Miller will continue to compete. One of the Bucs' in-house free agents is bolting to a division rival. Wideout Scotty Miller is set to join the Falcons on a one-year deal. And some past Masters champions don't expect any drama between PGA Tour and LIV golfers next week. saying the narrative should be about crowning a major champ. I'm Scott Davidson.
Style runs in the family. Athleticism runs in the family. Extraordinary runs in the family. The Mercedes-Benz range of SUVs. Learn more at MBUSA.com or test drive one at your local dealer.
Tools Ace Hardware can help you create the absolute perfect backyard for entertaining. We all know Tools has the best grills from the best brands out there. Weber, Traeger, Big Green Egg. Now, Uni Pizza Ovens and Napoleon grills at select locations as well. But now you can also find Solo stoves, those unbelievable stainless steel stoves that are so cool. You see them online all the time. They have those. Not only can you get that, but the perfect things to surround that Solo stove with while you're cooking your perfect hot dogs or maybe your marshmallows. Polywood Adirondack chairs are awesome. Extremely durable, recycled plastic. They'll last for years, won't fade, won't crack. They have all of that ready to go. Even better, you can get free assembly and local delivery on any grill or patio furniture purchase, $3.99 and up. It's Tools Ace Hardware, 12 convenient locations all throughout Central Florida, or you can shop online at acehardware.com for free in-store pickup or delivery. It's Tools Ace, the backyard place.
Hey folks, it's time to de-junk and do some deep cleaning. Let Zero Res help. Zero Res can clean your carpet, furniture, tile and grout, sofa, area rugs, everything. Right now, get your tile and grout clean and sealed for 20% off. Make an appointment at OrlandoZeroRes.com. Zero Res, spelled forwards and backwards, it's the right way to clean.
Rent is due and money is tight. You could A, pay a huge late fee, or B, get an Amscot cash advance and avoid it. Amscot, up to $500 fast. No credit check. Some restrictions apply, subject to approval. Amscot.
I've been buying wholesale cars for 27 years, and every year, the way I know the market has peaked is my Bradford pear tree blooms. This morning I looked, and it is bloomed. The market is peaking. If you want to sell your car, this is the highest time of the year to do it right now. Just beat a guy today. A CarMax offer $3,000. They offered him $75 on his Corvette. I gave him $78. Why? Because the tree told me to. GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Orlando is lurking, ready to protect what's theirs. Because in this wild, it's survival of the fittest. Welcome to their jungle. This is your team. Experience more football. Experience XFL. Your Orlando Guardians take on the DC Defenders at Camping World Stadium Saturday, April 1st at 6 p.m. Tickets on sale now. Visit xfl.com/tickets.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-628-8080. 800-628-8080. That's 800-628-8080.
Spring is here and there's never been a better time to find your perfect motorcycle. Orlando Harley-Davidson has the largest selection of new and pre-owned Harley-Davidson motorcycles in the state of Florida. Our showroom is loaded with bikes to fit every experience level. Visit OrlandoHarley-Davidson.com to schedule your test drive and check out a full list of motorcycle inventory plus a huge list of spring events. That's OrlandoHarley.com. Orlando Harley-Davidson located next to I-4, across from the mall at Millennia.
Of course, your favorite station is on the free iHeartRadio app. Take us with you anywhere and listen anytime. Plus, get thousands of other stations and playlists all free. Download our free iHeartRadio app for all your music, radio, and podcasts.
iHeartRadio.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. But not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I'm Martin Hoke, the inventor of Navage Nasal Care, and I love Navage. I've told you about how your nose is the body's air filter, that Navage's powered suction will help flush out allergens, viruses, mucus, and germs, and that Navage will help you breathe better. But what do other people say about Navage? Like Josh, quote, "After walking around my whole life being a mouth breather, I was excited to try Navage. I read the directions carefully, pressed the button, and oh my gosh, what a sensation. So much mucus, so much crud, but oh sweet, merciful air, I can finally breathe you through my nose. Never have I ever taken such an amazing breath in my life. This is a life changer," unquote. He's one of over 100,000 online reviews praising Navage, the all-natural solution trusted by over 3 million people to help you breathe better, sleep deeper, snore less, and stay healthier without drugs. Navage is available at Walmart, CVS, Walgreens, Target, Rite Aid, and online. Navage, Navage, clean nose, healthy life.
This hour brought to you by Space Coast Jobs Now, coming March 30th.
If you don't know what web goals are, consider yourself lucky. If you feel like helping out, go to JimColbertLive.com and look at stuff.
407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
And so is Jack.
Yo.
Ross is around here somewhere. There
He's
he is.
here.
Good to see you, Ross.
Hey. All aboard.
Yeah. What do we
Real
have?
close.
What do we have on the old sauce jar, buddy?
All aboard.
Chugga chugga.
Choo choo.
Lickety clack, lickety clack. What's wrong? What's wrong with you before you get into this?
What's wrong with me?
Yeah, why are you late? What's going on?
I used the bathroom.
Oh, you just ran here?
Yeah, I had a sausage, egg, and cheese burrito.
That's enough. Go ahead.
Okay, I have a beautiful... Oh, Jesus. I have a beautiful pair of tickets to the 13th annual official MegaCon after party, Bloodstone Mega Monster Mash, Jack. Come geek out at the largest cosplay party going down in Orlando, Florida, Jack.
Is that what you're doing? Are you guys going to cause out and go out there to the after party?
I might be going to MegaCon this weekend. I'm pretty pumped.
I heard that. Are you going to do the whole thing?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you got it.
Just Friday. I think I might show up as Vision. It's such a cool thing in Orlando. I've never done it.
And it's such a phenomenal, not costume just for you, but you and your wife
it's so
together.
good. Yeah.
It's just so spot on perfect.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun dressing up. But you are getting tickets to this amazing, super awesome Rager after party. This is going down April 1st, this Saturday from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. at the Rosen Center Hotel on I Drive. That is your sauce jar, which is always brought to you by
Cento Family Moving and Storage. They can handle your move, local, long-distance, residential, or commercial. Just make sure you mention the Jim Colbert Show because that will get you a discount. Book them today at CentoMoving.com. That's CENTO Moving.com. Clickety-clack. Back to you.
You got it, Deb. Ross, who goes first today, buddy?
Let's welcome Mike.
Mike, right there on line 1. Mike, how are you, buddy?
Hey, I'm great. It's actually Santa Mike out of Kissimmee.
Oh, very nice, Santa Mike. Would you like to play a little game with us?
How could you forget, Jim?
I sure would.
Let's do it.
Want to play a game?
I guess maybe I just an oversight.
Maybe I think it is. You meet a lot of Santa Mikes.
I do meet a lot of Santa Mikes. Santa Mike, this is a very easy game, but a question here for you. 4 answers. One of them is untrue. If you can search that one out, I will send you to the big after party at MegaCon this weekend. Are you ready?
I am. I'm going to be there on Saturday anyway.
Oh, right on. Well, perfect. Then. All right. It's National Mom and Pop Business Day.
Oh, cool.
That's right. Here are 3 fun facts about small business and one lie that's undercapitalized.
Ooh.
Number 1, there are 24 million small businesses in the U.S., which outnumbers corporations 1,162 to 1. Number 2, small businesses employ 57% of the United States private workforce. Number 3, in 2009, a small business went bankrupt every 8 minutes. And lastly, 30% of all small businesses in the U.S. are operated by just one person. Which of those is a lie?
Oh, that is a good one. I am going to have to take a educated guess and I'm going to go with number 1.
Oh, man, that is unfortunately absolutely true. There are 24 million small businesses in the U.S., and that outnumbers corporations 1,162 to 1.
Sorry, Santa.
Not bad at all. Ross, who happens to be next?
Let's welcome Paul.
Paul, right there on line 2. Paul, how you doing, friend?
It's biblical.
Doing good. How are you guys?
Good, brother. We're talking about small business. Today is National Mom and Pop Business Day. Number 1, small businesses employ 57% of the United States private workforce. Number 2, in 2009, a small business went bankrupt every 8 minutes. Or lastly, 30% of all small businesses in the U.S. are operated by just one person.
I'm going to go with the one thing happening in 2009.
No, that's absolutely true. In 2009, if you got to remember, after 2008, the downfall, it was really, really bad for everybody, including us here at iHeartRadio. A small business went bankrupt every 8 minutes that entire year.
Try not to remember that year.
Yeah, no joke.
Let's welcome Curtis.
Curtis, right there on line 3. Kurt, how you doing?
I'm good, man. What's up?
Buddy, we're talking about small businesses here. You got a 50-50 shot at going to this gigantic MegaCon after party. You a MegaCon guy?
Yes, I am.
All right, here we go. We're talking about about small businesses. Number 1, small businesses employ 57% of the United States private workforce. Or lastly, 30% of all small businesses in the U.S. are operated by just one person.
The last one.
The last one is the answer. But I want you to answer me. This is a bonus. You don't get anything for it. Why is that incorrect? 30% of all small businesses in the U.S. are operated by just one person. Why is that wrong?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's because it's 70%.
Yeah.
Whoa.
70% of all businesses in the U.S. are
Way
run
to take a guess, bro.
Hang on, dude.
by just one person. How crazy is that? Just one person. But the funny thing is you see these.
Well, that was like you, though.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, just my print shop. It was just me for a while.
I mean, it was you running it. You may have had an employee you could lean on, but.
Yeah, well, all right. So if you subcontract to people and you 1099 them, are you still still that one person small business?
I think what they're saying here is pretty much one person does everything. I mean, what I think of is like how many landscaping companies are in Central Florida that are run by one guy with his landscape trailer.
Yeah.
You know, or one painting guy or a pressure washing guy. That's kind of what I think they're talking about.
Social media influencers.
Whatever the case may be.
One person.
Pretty good, though. Get down to 50-50. Pretty happy.
There you go, Puzzle Master.
Some other things you may not know about small businesses. That is true, though. Small businesses employ 57% of the United States workforce.
Whoa.
That's why they say it's the backbone of the country. Here's a few other things.
Anybody else surprised by that? I thought it would have been way lower.
No,
Same here.
The reason I made the fake one the 70% is that's the one I could not believe. You think about that. I mean, you think about how many 20 million businesses.
Yeah,
24 million businesses.
I do think Jack is actually onto something because if you subcontract and you go 1099s, they're not employees. I wonder if that plays at least a small factor in that number.
But I bet if we were to open up the phones next segment, I bet money you could find a lot of people who are just basically in business by themselves. And we actually were going to talk about that anyway with the mom and pop thing.
I know one person who dresses up cacti and sells it on Etsy.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
Some other things you may not know about small businesses before we find out what's coming up for Ross Thoughts. 60 to 80% of all new jobs are created by small businesses.
Wow.
1.2 million small businesses are run by?
Women.
No. 1.2 million small businesses in the U.S. are run by?
Couples.
That's the answer. Married couples.
Wow.
Boom. Nailed it.
Dang.
What percentage of all U.S. businesses are franchises? This is another good one.
What
percentage of all small businesses in America are franchises?
Point. I'm going to go point.
You think it's that low?
Or maybe I don't.
Or maybe I'm just swerving you.
I'm going to stick with it. I'm going to go 0.08.
0.08.
I'm going to go 10%.
16%.
3%.
Wow.
Ross gets a point.
Only 3% of businesses in the U.S. are franchises.
Call me Butter because I'm on a roll, baby.
I thought that one was really low. I thought it would be more like 10 or 15%. I really did. And then lastly here, self-employed business owners make an average of how much per year? And I can verify this is about how much I made doing my print shop.
Oh, $30,000.
That's about what I was going to say.
I'll go 52.
God God dang it, Ross. You're on fire today, dog. 51,420.
Straight dunking off.
51,000 per year.
No, that was not dong-worthy.
That was
Dude, it was pretty darn
dong-worthy.
dong-worthy. He said 51.
Yeah, but
he
it's
said 52 and it's 51 and change.
It's like
It's a
$800.
random number.
Memory.
Oh,
Thank you.
jeez.
What's going to be our thoughts quickly?
Guys, we're going to be really happy. This is positive Ross Thoughts. We're going to talk about all of our childhood dreams that died.
All right, we'll do that next.
Winning Wednesdays happen every Wednesday on our Instagram page at Real Radio 1041 with a new prize available every Wednesday. Real Radio 1041 on Instagram is powered by Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
From the Goldsmith Jewelry Shop Traffic Center. Lowest prices on the highest quality jewelry. GoldsmithJewelry.com.
We're looking at stop traffic westbound on I-4 between Osceola Parkway and World Drive. It's also heavy between Central Florida Parkway and Sand Lake Road. Eastbound, a solid ride between State Roads 536 and 535 and also approaching Kirkman Road. A slow ride, too, between Anderson Street and Robinson Street and also between the Beach Line and Sand Lake Road. If you see traffic problems, make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477 from the Traffic Center. I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Blindster.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle at Blindster.com. If you're like many people, you may think custom blinds is a job for expensive professionals. Well, at Blindster, if you have a tape measure and a screwdriver, you can install our custom blinds and save big. Plus, we guarantee they'll fit. Blindster.com.
Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex is a top 10 TripAdvisor Traveler's Choice winner year after year. Only place you're going to experience the excitement of thundering rocket launches up close. And, of course, see the spacecraft that are blazing the trail for tomorrow's discoveries. If you haven't been to the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, let me implore you to do so because it is one of the most magical places in all of Central Florida. We cannot get enough of it. Every time you go, you're more and more amazed. And even better, take advantage of this new 2-day ticket offer they have right now, costing less than $45 per day and offering maximum flexibility for the entire family. Again, it is the Kennedy Space Center Visitor Complex, the only place you can experience the excitement of thundering rocket launches up close. Explore more today at KennedySpaceCenter.com.
In this week's Marketers Report, Patrizio Spagnoletto, Global Chief Marketing Officer Direct-to-Consumer for Warner Brothers Discovery, weighs in on building trust.
Trust is a really hard thing to build and a really easy thing to destroy, and we have to be very respectful about that. Our partnership with iHeart has really helped us build that trust and that relationship with the on-air talent.
As the #1 audio company, iHeartMedia gives marketers access to the audiences, conversations, trusted influencers, insights, and data you need to grow. Go to iHeartResults.com for more.
You've heard of a pro tip. Here's a mo tip. If you are in an accident, take pictures of everything. The damage, the roadways, and the other drivers, and call the police. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Mo DeWitt, Orlando attorney.
These days, there are plenty of things to worry about, but keeping pests out of your home shouldn't be one of them. That's why you need Massey Services. Massey eliminates pests before they get inside. They start by carefully inspecting the inside and outside of your home, and then focus customized treatments on the outside. Best of all, your satisfaction is guaranteed or your money back. That's the Massey difference. Expect more and get it.
There's a place where spring break is even spring breakier.
Dave & Buster's.
Where there aren't just nachos, there's lasers too.
Dave & Buster's.
And not just jet skis, but jet ski racing games, space games, action games, and even virtual reality.
Dave & Buster's.
And in this reality, it's the spring breakiest. Let your spring break loose at Dave & Buster's.
Shopping for a diamond? Only one jeweler here has over 30 plus years in diamond wholesaling, manufacturing, and retailing, and that's Keith LeClaire at International Diamond Center.
I've been in all phases of jewelry manufacturing, and all that knowledge, all that ability that we have acquired over the years now has brought together for you as a consumer at the bottom line price.
Make no mistake, this is Orlando's direct diamond importer.
A lot of people claim they've been in the wholesale business. A lot of people claim they've been in manufacturing. They don't know 2 cents about it.
Even today, Keith supplies diamonds to wholesalers who then sell sell to jewelry stores all over the country, and he's known worldwide as a major player in the world diamond market.
It's because of the relationships and the context that we have developed over 35 years. Our reputation is impeccable. Our desire to please our customer is to the utmost. You hear all these jewelers that make these outlandish claims. The biggest, the best, the lowest, the largest. My response, go shop them. Then come to IDC. The proof is in the pudding.
International Diamond Center, 4 Orlando locations.
The IRS has just received $80 billion in funding to hire additional agents for aggressive collections enforcement. If you owe the IRS, now is the time to take action before the IRS comes after you or your business. There's no time to waste. Call J. David Tax Law, a firm right here in Orlando, for a no-cost consultation at 407-603-3962. That's 407-603-3962. Or visit jdavidtaxlaw.com. Peace of mind is only a click or phone call away.
If you've been injured in a car accident, call Pound Law from your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Broadcasting live from the injury law firm of Kaufman and Lind Studios. Why Kaufman and Lind? Because you deserve better. Contact them at whenyouneedus.com or dial pound 546 on your cell phone. You're listening to WTKS FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. Available everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. Now #1 for podcasting. We are an iHeartRadio station. There's only one place to watch this nonsense. At Jim Colbert Show on YouTube.
The Jim Colbert Show, Prince of the Islands. Apple is just copying what other company have. There is Shop Pay, Affirm, and then there's Amazon Pay. There's all kinds. They are just copying. The only difference is this. If you don't pay them, then they might have the ability to disconnect your service, your Apple phone or whatever. This is the only advantage I think they're gonna have over the rest.
Yeah. Hey, you're gonna pay that bill. It's actually pretty smart if you think about it. You're definitely gonna pay that bill. You definitely will do whatever it takes to keep your phone on. You will miss your car insurance payment to keep the phone on. All right, 407-916-1041. Welcome back to the Jim Colbert Show. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
Jack is.
Hi.
And Ross has some thoughts. Great song.
It's weird.
Yeah. It's
funny.
Remembered
sometimes
that I have to pay for.
It's Ross. Spelled like sauce.
My car insurance.
It's Ross Thoughts.
Thanks for the reminder, Jim. So check this out. I keep thinking about childhood dreams.
Okay.
All right. And now these aren't even just like dreams, because what's the first one you think of?
Oh, you're going to be a
Astronaut.
ninja, astronaut, whatever.
Yeah. And as
bass player in a rock band.
Yeah.
Ballerina.
Jack. Coming from the top rope, big dog. Bass player.
Only Jack would dream about being a bass player.
Yeah, who dreams
My
of
God.
Wearing sensible shoes.
You know what I want to be? I want to be the guy forgotten in the band.
I want to be the semi-star.
Right.
I want to be able to go to McDonald's, order number 3, and not get hounded, but I still want to slap that bass.
I want to be the guy in the background you know the first name of.
Yeah. I just don't want to be expected to wear shoes when I'm on stage. I don't know. I feel like that's a bass player thing.
I'm looking to get fourths.
Yeah. Sorry, bass players. I hope they have fun with it, too. They have to, right? They got to just lean into it.
So the drummer and guitar player already hit it?
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, that's cool with me. Shower? No? All right. Whatever. Not my first time. Not yours either.
This happened in Wichita.
But childhood dreams. Everyone thinks about careers. But I specifically remember, I have one of my dreams, sounds so weird.
Well,
but
you're laugh talking, so it's got to be awful.
But you're a kid, so you're dumb. When I was a child, I remember distinctly going, man, when I'm an adult, which allegedly at times I am now at 33. But I remember as a kid, I thought I was going to have the craziest, loudest cereal collection anybody could ever have.
Breakfast cereal?
I thought I was going to have a buffet of cereal. And now I'm at 33. I'm like, that's a lot of sugar.
Because all you can think to yourself is your idea of success would have multiple boxes of whatever cereals you would want.
Well, that
was the only thing you could really relate to.
It was all those times because I would always ask for another bowl of cereal, and my mom would be like, "No, you've already had you got your quota of Reese's Puffs today. And I'd be like, no, hit it again.
All those vitamins.
Yeah, I want the Reese's Puffs again. She would always bring it up like, well, when you're an adult, you can buy as many Reese's Puffs as you want.
That's so funny.
And then I never did.
Yeah, because because you understand what's in that now.
Yeah.
It is literally like sugar.
It bums me out, though, that like all these childhood, they're small dreams. I could easily go out, spend $25 and get a bunch of cereal.
You could not.
No, you'd get about 3 boxes.
You're going to get 2 boxes of cereal for $25. Maybe 3.
Okay. Well, I'll buy like the one that you like, Special K or something.
Oh, easy. Don't you dare besmirch the name of Product 19.
Product 19.
No.
They didn't even name it
a
good.
product so bad that they just said, what are we going to call this? What try is it? 19th. Oh, that's what it is.
A cereal grown in a lab. It sounds like a military program. Product 19. Sounds like what gives you Havana syndrome.
Sounds like a CIA operation.
So I'm curious, do you another example. I'm leaning on you guys because I'm curious to see what your small childhood like expectations. Tree house.
Oh, would have been. I mean, that's not even real.
I want and still want a treehouse, but then I think
here.
I can't be 33 just sitting by myself in a treehouse.
Well, there's a reason you can't.
Wait till you get kids, then
yeah.
then you'll want the treehouse to escape.
And by the way, I have to tell you a weird aside about treehouses. I drove by one the other day in the country. I just kind of looked up, and it was one of these really, really nice ones. And it's such a waste of money.
Yeah.
And a waste of time because the kids play in it for like an hour.
And then
all of a sudden they're bored and they want to move on to something else. I've not seen kids playing one yet. They're all just rotting in trees.
Yeah. I would love to get a tree house. Another one that was so high up on my little kid Mount Rushmore. And this one's still obtainable, but you guys are going to make fun of me a lot. I've always wanted to become a black belt.
A black belt?
Yeah.
But it's completely achievable.
That's cool.
Yeah, I know that's cool.
You can do like Elvis did, just buy them.
Yeah, I'm not going to buy them. I want to get my training on.
Dude, do it.
Is that karate?
Yeah, well, it could be a number of things. It could be jiu-jitsu. You can be a black belt in jiu-jitsu and judo.
Jiu-jitsu, way too hard. Look at me.
I think you could do it. You have leverage, and the jiu-jitsu is all about leverage.
A legit scarecrow puts up a harder fight than I've always wanted a black belt. Every little boy wants a black belt.
That's right.
I got a sword. I've always wanted a sword. I got a sword for Christmas.
Buddy, a black belt in 6th grade is like the Medal of Honor. I mean, you aren't even, I mean, it is the only, I mean, you wear it to school. It is the thing.
Yeah, I've always wanted, and then what's the white thing called?
Obi.
Oh, God.
I think it's called an obi. No, it's a gi.
Gi.
Yeah, it's a gi.
It's a gi.
Yeah, obi is a sash that is worn by Japanese men or women. I can't remember.
Jack.
Yes, sir.
How in
Childhood
love?
dream?
Yeah. How in love with black belts were you?
Oh, I wanted to do that, and I still thought I like ride by this facility.
A dojo?
Yeah, and I'm like,
it's called dojo.
I should do that.
Respect it.
I did have a childhood dream. You don't know this show? It's called Fantasy Island. There was a little midget on it. I mean, a
don't
short
say
person.
midget. How dare you? You awful human being.
And why would you call him little? Redundant much?
Hervé Villachez.
Real small.
But it used to have a mini car that was like modeled after the bigger cars on the island.
Yeah, it was like a smaller version of Ricardo Montalban's car, right?
Yeah. So as a kid, I wanted a mini Trans Am like that.
Oh, man.
That's what I wanted.
So another thing, you just unlocked one of my old childhood dreams that is rotting, decaying. One of the coolest memories that I ever had with my dad. There's only 2. One, he bought me an N64, and I knew he was broke as hell, and it meant the world to me. The second thing, which weighs more than the N64, is that he made a model car. It was a Shelby GT500.
Nice.
It was around when Gone in 60 Seconds came out, and I fell in love with Eleanor.
Yeah.
I had stage 5 Eleanor syndrome, and he made this car. And it wasn't he painted it. He did everything.
That's pretty cool.
It was awesome. And then I tried to get into like model cars, and I realized that, man, this is really hard.
Yeah.
So then I just started buying model cars all like assembled.
Yeah.
And I always wanted an entire fleet, like 1,000
Model cars?
Die-cast model cars.
Oh, you want the die-cast ones? I thought you were doing the plastic ones where you'd put them together and paint them and stuff. My uncle used to do that all the time. It was pretty badass.
It's very badass.
And huffing the glue was huge.
It was very hard. Deb, childhood dream that withered and died. That's still obtainable, do you think?
Oh, no, it's not obtainable. But, I mean, I always wanted to be a ballerina.
All right.
You're right, it's unobtainable.
I was not expecting ballerina.
I'm sorry, did somebody speak?
I was not expecting ballerina.
That's B. Capital B.
Yeah.
Jim, ballerina?
No, not ballerina. Mine is unbelievably achievable. Mine actually, and I remember this like it was yesterday. I told teachers I was going to do this, and I was so proud of myself because I just was. What are you going to do for a living, little Jimmy? I'm going to be a heavy equipment operator. I wanted to run like backhoes and bulldozers and dump trucks and front end loaders and stuff like that because that's what my dad did. My dad was on site, and as a kid, you walk into a construction site and all the toys you've been playing with forever are real, and they're right there.
Tonka trucks.
And your old man will let you run the bucket for a little bit. Man, you are enamored by the power of that. And I could definitely do that if I wanted to. If I wanted to change gears and be a heavy equipment operator, I could do that.
Who wouldn't want to do that?
Following in your dad's footsteps. That makes sense. I also had that because when I was like 6 or 7, I really wanted to do like a heroic amount of cocaine on the PGA Tour.
Okay.
And that's what my dad was great at. I mean,
snorting his way from city to city.
Can you imagine doing so much cocaine that you look at the scoreboard and you're like, oh my God, I'm 4th. Nonetheless, your childhood dreams, although they have withered and died, and yes, they are a little ridiculous, but
I bet a lot of people out there have them, though.
I promise you one thing. I'm going to have 4 or 5 boxes of cereal by the end of the weekend.
Good, do it.
Those are your Ross thoughts. I'm out. Reese's Puffs. I'm out. Peace.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Back in a sec with more of the Jim Colbert Show.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7. It's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by Gringos Locos and SecuredRoofingAndRestoration.com. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James, Miguel, Mike, and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
A disabled vehicle slowing down, already a slow ride between State Roads 536 and 535 on I-4. It's stuck in the center lane. Use some extra caution if you're traveling this way. We're also seeing delays still approaching Kirkman Road and also between the Beach Line and Sand Lake Road. Westbound travel still very heavy between Osceola Parkway and World Drive. See traffic problems? Make sure to call the Safe Touch Security Traffic Tip Line at 866-676-8477 from the Traffic Center. I'm Paige Carrera.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's $3 breakfast deal. Wendy's $3 breakfast deal is your choice of bacon or sausage, egg and Swiss croissant, plus a small seasoned potatoes for just $3. Break your morning routine and get your $3 breakfast deal today. Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hours.
Yeah, man, right here in Central Florida, utility companies have raised the rates 3 times. They did it again this year, and they're thinking about doing another. And that's all of them, by the way. I'm not picking on just one. But now is the time that you can stop going along with those rate increases and finally go solar with Solar Bear. Solar Bear happens to be the highest rated and reviewed solar company in the state, locally owned and operated. That means no subcontractors, which is a giant positive. And all you have to do is visit solarbear.com today. That way you can get your free, that's right, free estimate. And right now on top of that, you can get 0 down, 0% interest and no payments for 12 months with credit approval. Say goodbye to your electric bill, but say hi to Solar Bear. Solarbear.com.
This hour brought to you by Space Coast Jobs Now, coming March 30th.
Spring into a new Mazda at Daytona Mazda with over 200 new Mazdas to choose from. Check out the new 2023 Mazda CX-5 or CX-9 today. And with rates as low as 0%, there's never been a better time to get into a new Mazda with our complimentary lifetime powertrain warranty. Daytona Mazda is prepared to make the car buying process as streamlined as possible. Out of respect for your valuable time, stop on by Daytona Mazda at the Daytona Auto Mall today at I-95 and LPGA, or shop online at DaytonaMazda.com.
It happens every day. Regular people are winning every single day. Whether it's $500 or $50,000, anybody can win. Because when they win, I feel like I'm winning.
Hi, my name is Kong. I won over $100,000 playing Baccarat. You can pick banker or player. If you pick the right side, the odds in your favor.
My name is Janelle, and I won a brand new BMW. I screamed, I hollered,
Anybody could win at Seminole Hard Rock Tampa.
Must be 21 to play slots or table games. Gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
The Mattawa Caves is a brand new fiction podcast that marries supernatural horror storytelling with an immersive psychological thriller. Tune in to uncover the chilling story and secrets as old as the caves themselves.
Without monsters, there are no victims, no prosecutions, no defenses, no justice.
Listen to the Mattawa Caves. That's MANTAWAUK Caves on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you spray wood preservatives, mold remediation products, or sanitize indoors using a hand wand sprayer? Are you a professional who uses a hand pump tank sprayer or backpack sprayer to treat indoor hard surfaces or pre-construction sites? If so, you may qualify for a research study and get paid up to $300. A research study is currently being conducted in the Orlando area to measure exposure to workers when spraying indoors with manually pressurized hand pump or battery-powered sprayers and backpack sprayers. To qualify, you must have a job or have had one in the last 2 years where you use a pump-up tank sprayer or backpack sprayer for indoor mold remediation, wood treatment, or indoor sanitizing. You must be at least 18 years old with a verified government-issued ID, know how to operate a sprayer, and be in good health. This is a one-day study with compensation up to $300 for your time. Study participants are needed. For details and to find out if you qualify, please go to www.researchstudyorlando.com. That's www.researchstudyorlando.com.
What's the best part of a Dunkin' Run? The coffee, the $1 donut, or $2 stuffed bagel minis, or $3 sausage, egg, and cheese? The answer? Yes. $3 offer available on sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich only. Excludes specialty donuts and fancies. Offer valid on medium or larger coffee. Price and participation may vary. Limited time offer. Terms apply.
Did you know you can now build a low-maintenance deck using stone? With Tanzite Stone Decking. Tanzite Stone does not use any plastic whatsoever. It is decking that's naturally durable, just like everything made with stone. Tanzite stone doesn't scratch at all. The color will never fade. It is not slippery, even when wet. And it stays cool in the sun. Since Tanzite decking is made of stone, it's virtually indestructible. That's why we guarantee it with a lifetime warranty. Discover how incredibly durable and beautiful a stone deck can be. Go to Tanzite.com. That's TANZITE.com. Online, you'll see how it easily installs over any regular wood deck structure, and you can order a sample to test it for yourself. Build a deck with the durability of stone at Tanzite.com. That's TANZITE.com.
Pray.com's Meditative Prayers podcast is the best way to bring God's perfect peace into your night. Each meditative prayer helps you focus on God, fight anxiety, sleep better, and more.
As you close your eyes, ask God to come and have fellowship with you. Open yourself to the Holy Spirit and ask Him to minister to you.
Listen to Meditative Prayers on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This hour of programming brought to you in part by FAS Windows and Doors.
Are you offended yet? Obviously, we're only kidding. You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show.
Soul Man in Winter Garden here. Speaking of cereals, fun fact, Wheaties is magnetic. Wiggle, wiggle, pop, pop.
I know, right?
I feel like that's a prompt to have us do something very stupid.
You know, I knew that was about to be played, so I looked it up, and it's pretty much true.
Wow. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I'm Jim. Deb and Jack and Ross are all here as well.
But is it Wheaties is magnetic, or is it Wheaties are magnetic?
Oh, that's a good question.
That is.
What do they say about that? Give me the info on why Wheaties are or are not magnetic.
The experiment performed by Adams is not new, nor is it limited to Wheaties. A spokesman for the General Mills, which manufactures Wheaties, of course, told us that the reaction is caused by a iron fortification in the cereal and is not a cause for alarm.
Oh, so when they say iron fortified, It's really iron.
Oh, wow.
Sprinkling rust dust on it.
And that's what makes it magnetic.
Unbelievable.
Tastes like you're licking the monkey bars.
Yeah, I have not had a bowl of breakfast cereal. I'm trying to think of the last time. I did not have any in 2022 for sure. I did not drink I did not do it an entire year. I think it's probably been 2 or 3 years since I've had a bowl of cereal in my house, and the last we would have had would be Raisin Bran.
Oh, boy. I like Raisin Bran, but it's just not a good look.
I had one 7 hours ago.
You had a bowl of cereal 7 hours ago?
Yeah.
What kicks?
No,
tricks?
stop.
Definitely not.
Okay, if now really apply logic, think of me.
Okay.
Right.
Have at it.
I don't even. Okay. Let's talk about this for a second because Jack is an anomaly. Do you believe is it a name brand cereal? First things first. Do you think it's name brand? That's a legit question.
No, because he shops at Aldi.
Okay, so he shops at Aldi. So we've concluded this is not a name brand cereal
because it doesn't. I don't think if Jack can find a comparable product for $1 or $2 cheaper, he's going to learn to like the taste.
Like Fruit Loops, but actually spelled like fruit,
right?
Instead of ROOT.
I love how you guys know me.
Okay, listen. So he definitely has purchased this from Aldi, so it's not a name brand. Does it have a box, or is it just one of those bags?
Yeah. You're not going bag cereal, are you, Jack?
Don't look at him.
I could see he's done it in the past, but I have a feeling this one. I feel like he had allowed himself to step it up to a box because he got it at Aldi.
Okay, so if you get a box of cereal at Aldi and it's not a name brand, what is it mocking? What is it based on?
There you go.
Because it has to be based on one of the players, like Fruit Loops, Cheerios.
Nope, he's not going to go with the sugar cereal.
Smacks.
No,
The
Apple
Cheerios-
Slices.
Cheerios is not a sugary cereal.
No, Cheerios I could see, but
Heart healthy.
Still too playful for Jack.
I think I got
Cheerios too playful?
Yeah, it's got the heart shapes back, and it's too much. It's ridiculousness in his bowl. He doesn't want that kind of crap. Just give him the Cheerio.
I'm with Deb. I don't think Jack is back in Cheerios because it's got holes in it.
Exactly.
And he's thinking, like, where's the rest of the product?
Yeah, exactly. I paid for this. Where's the rest of my damn cereal?
So what generic flake do you think Jack had 7 hours ago?
I think it is a brand.
Same here. I'm going with a raisin.
I'm going brand, no raisin. I'm on the website. I believe.
All
Your
right.
Honor.
You're on Aldi's website?
Okay, that's
let's just see how good we are at this.
All right,
We've had attorney segments for years. Let's see if we have investigatively worked this out properly. That's not even a word. Go ahead.
Your Honor, I believe
Your Honor?
Your Honor, I believe the perpetrator here woke up roughly 7:15 a.m. Am I correct, sir?
You can't ask him questions. Just give me the statement. This is your opening statement.
Objection! I apologize.
Okay.
But I would like to announce to all of Central Florida that here, Mr. Bradshaw is a big fan of Bran Flakes. I rest my case. Thank you very much.
The cereal itself is called Bran Flakes.
Bran Flakes.
That's it.
I'm going with Bran.
Deb?
He went with Bran. I'm going to go with a...
Oh, she's shivering.
I am, because it's between the bran.
We want this.
And the shredded wheat.
Oh, they do have name brands.
They
though.
do.
They do.
Yeah, but he's not touching.
He's not. No way. Not at that price.
No chance.
Not at $1.03 more.
Okay.
He's squeaking.
I'm
This
telling
is
you. I'm telling you right now. This is what he's doing. He went with the Fit and Active Vitality cereal with red berries.
But where's the Your Honor?
Oh, Your Honor. I propose to the court.
Oh my God! Shut it down!
Did you nail it?
I guess so.
Oh my
Fit and Active Vitality cereal with red berries. Did I call it?
I can't believe all I said was, think of me.
And we did.
And figure out what... I didn't say
baby.
anything after that.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And you totally dialed in exactly what I would be thinking about cereal, about where I would get it, what I wouldn't get, and that is exactly the cereal I get.
This is what
I had a bowl today. I
Fit
picked
and
up a box
Active.
yesterday.
it's
What is it?
Vitality.
It's like $3.50 a box?
It's
$4?
cheaper. I think it's under $3.
No!
Yeah. It's crispy rice and wheat flakes with strawberries. And it tastes like a Special K with fruit.
Yeah, that's right. I thought,
See,
actually, there
it's
was
a comparable product.
The other one I was going to go with, just to be a contrarian, is at the very bottom. They have like a Rice Chex knockoff or whatever that is.
And they do have an apple cinnamon organic, but that's instant oatmeal. I still went with the cereal.
You guys did not misstep at all. You dialed it in. You got
5 years of working together, man.
I thought Ross was going to come out of the gate with it, but that's the cereal next to the one I buy. And then Deb just honed in on it. And I like to get the one with almonds and vanilla. But
yeah.
But
that has not been in stock for months.
Almonds.
That's a Friday thing. I get it.
It's a weekend cereal. So we know that Ross likes the peanut butter crunch. What was the one you like?
Oh, man.
Reese's peanut butter.
It's a Reese's Puffs.
Reese's Puffs. Okay, so what is yours? When's the last time you had a bowl of breakfast cereal?
Oh, it's been a long time, but
Has
I
it been
have
years?
mentioned. I think I had a bowl of cereal last year.
Do you have some in your home?
We have shredded wheat that a friend who. Do you guys ever have this happen to you when your friends come to visit you or family and they stayed in Airbnb? And then at the end of it, it's like, hey, so I have like just a few items left in my fridge that, we don't want to go to waste. And it's always like oat milk.
Oh, it's the worst.
It's crap. So shredded wheat, but that would not be my first cereal choice.
Okay,
Can you
let's-
figure out what my favorite cereal is?
You're going to be a brand name person. You're not like Jack. You'll go to brand name stores. And man, you're a little more difficult. So if you buy a brand name cereal, I don't think you're a sugary cereal girl.
Look at the candy, though. That sweet tooth.
I know, but I wonder if that's just a snack thing. That's definitely not. You got to remember, this is a meal. So I wonder if she would consider this a meal.
Your Honor,
Oh, God.
if I may have the court's attention.
Faticus?
I believe that all spicy little Colombian over here, Miss Roberts, is a big fan of some CTC.
CTC.
And I believe
Captain Crunch?
that is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I rest my case.
Oh, Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Because she likes how it makes the milky all spicy at the end.
But if you consider what kind of candy she eats, it's almost primarily like fruity candies. Like, the Nerds clusters.
Okay.
I will tell you, I'm going Fruit Loops.
Oh.
Because it mimics more of the candy that she eats.
But what about the Your Honor?
Your Honor.
I present to the court.
Your Honor, I present to the court that she is a Fruit Loop girl.
When you
She's a
throw
Fruit Loop
fruits
girl.
in there, it could be Lucky Charms, but my original thought, I'm going with, I don't like the way you look at me now.
you trust the
you
gut.
You got to trust your gut.
Trust
dude.
your gut.
Go with the charms.
Honey Nut Cheerios.
Oh, what? I
Oh.
thought for sure he was going with Lucky Charms.
Lucky Charms.
No! You had it! You had it! You blew it!
You trust your gut.
My logic was right. I just chose the wrong cereal.
And she even looked at me. She gave me a tell, and I didn't.
And it's got candy in it. The marshmallows are candy in the cereal.
And who doesn't love? I mean, because then
I
you can
hate
pick
it.
the marshmallows out.
Oh my God, those marshmallows are the worst thing that's ever been created to eat.
Yeah, he hates marshmallows, and I think he has a thing for the Irish.
Okay, Jim.
Oh, here's the thing. Mine's easy. I already told you what mine
Product
was.
19?
It was
Yeah.
Product 19
Yeah,
and Raisin
Product
Bran.
19.
Now, let me do this. As a kid, what do you think it was? Oh. I don't even know if they make this anymore.
Kicks.
Oh.
Kicks is what just popped into my head.
Not Kicks. No.
All right, I
You
made
guys,
my
you guys
guess.
figured it out. It is a
Got
brand. It is
Sugar
a
Pops.
It is a brand name cereal.
It is a brand name cereal,
Let
and you got it as a brand name as a child.
I got to make sure that it's still.
because we know that you weren't just poor, but you were po.
Oh,
There's a difference.
I used to
Po
like-
is a lower level than poor.
Oh no, it's still made.
Couldn't even afford the other O and R.
Yeah, right.
Po.
Exactly, straight up po.
This is still made. This was my favorite cereal as a kid. I
Oh,
ate this
Lord.
a lot.
Well, then it can't be popular because if you had to look it up to see if it's still damn being made,
You're not wrong.
it's not flying
Look,
off the shelf now.
Applejack. There's a cereal.
Ooh,
there's a
that was
cereal.
a good time.
There's a cereal that's similar to the cereal that I ate as a kid that we've mentioned today.
Sugar Smacks?
No.
Don't get pissed. Put that attitude away.
No.
Ow.
I'm John Mulaney, and I don't like it.
All right, so it's an
All
old
right.
school
It's
cereal.
an old school, but they still make it. And you have said a cereal it's similar to in shape and texture, not flavor.
Whoa.
Well, maybe a little bit like flavor.
Another twist.
Honeycombs, alphabets.
It is 2 letters are the would be the initials.
XOs.
And it's the same letter.
O's.
The letter's G.
GG?
G.
Wait, G. What starts with a G?
2 G's.
Great Grains?
No.
Got it.
What?
Say it.
Back-to-back G's.
You say it.
It's not third place. It's not second place. It's first place. Because it's golden. As in Golden Grams.
Oh, yeah. Good time.
Golden Grams is the answer.
Yes, and then Golden Grams is like this weird, like, step brother of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Yeah.
It is. Okay, and what's weird about Golden Grams is this.
And they do still make it.
Yeah, they do. Let me drop this bomb on you. If you buy a box of Golden Grams and you eat the cereal, the milk left over tastes exactly like cookie butter.
But you know,
exactly like cookie butter. It's cookie butter milk. That in itself is a product.
That kind of passion.
Yeah.
The trick with Golden Grams, though, is you can't leave them in the milk too long because
that's what I'm
once those
saying.
grams go flaccid,
it is a mess.
it's not a good time.
But the worst cereal for that is...
I'm going to go, for me, it would be
the
like...
worst cereal. The worst cereal for me by far was this.
It would be shredded, like, wheats or mini wheats.
I didn't mind that. But
For me, it's the Frosted Flakes because then the milk got too sweet and the flakes got too soft.
And you realize that back in the day they would put the sugar was a coating over the flake. If you looked at the flake, it was actually, and that's what kept it crispy as long as possible. When the sugar would melt, the milk would get to the graham or to the flake, and it would make it terrible. My worst of all time is Rice Krispies.
Oh,
because by 40 seconds into that bowl, you are eating mush.
Yeah.
It is mush. And they're terrible.
It becomes like this weird porridge.
It is weird.
Yeah.
If you don't add fruit, there's just no flavor there.
You got to sprinkle just a little bit of sugar over the top. You got to pour your milk really lightly so that you lightly get your Krispies wet, but not soaking.
That's right.
Light dusting of sugar, and then you scarf as quickly as you can.
Horrible cereal, but what a great treat if you make squares.
Yes,
right?
who doesn't love Rice Krispie treats?
That's the weird thing, too. I will tell you something about cereal.
Oh, now he likes marshmallow.
Let's go around the room. Let's go around. This is serious business, guys.
All right, yeah.
This is people in Orlando are dying to hear this information.
Sure.
What is the king fruit for a bowl of cereal?
Strawberries.
I'm going straw.
That is not the answer.
Yeah.
That is not the answer.
Are you a blueberry boy?
That is also not the answer.
I don't like
it's
blueberries.
Bananas or peaches, and it's not
Ew,
even close.
Peaches?
Peaches and cereal is the best thing ever.
You are wrong.
That's why I used to eat Product 19. It was just basically a vanilla peach that I could flavor with the fruit I'm putting in there.
Why do you think Bradshaw gets the vitality at Aldi? Because it comes with strawberries.
I understand. Strawberries is fine. There's nothing wrong with strawberries.
Now, a good Nana on a Rice Krispie or a Cheerio.
A little green Nana with that fuzz on it. That little weird fuzz. You eat it when it's just a little too green. It's got that weird thing.
Like we're talking
weird is you talking about eating anything with fuzz on it.
No, dude.
I'm not a dude.
Well, you threw me off when you said green banana. I'm like, that's not the color.
Well, I know that they're yellow, but when you get them in the store and they're still ripening, they have a little green tint to them.
I'd rather brown spots than any green.
No way.
They want that sweetness.
And then peaches. I'm telling you, peaches, cut up peaches in a bowl of Product 19 or cornflakes. Man, that's as good as it gets.
Hey, who doesn't remember this, though, as a kid? You used to put so much sugar on your Rice Krispies that when you were still scooping sugar out of the bottom of the bowl when you were done.
Oh, man.
When you were a kid eating Rice Krispies.
God, no wonder I'm pre-diabetic.
Although, I will go out on the limb with someone else. I do love a good Blueberry and Frankenberry when that used to come out.
I gotta tell you,
Blueberry was a good time.
It still comes out.
I was never, the only one that I would eat that had flavor like that, and this is going to be, I'm just going to get ready for it. I won't even say what it is because there's some ultimate hypocrisy here.
Captain Crunch?
No.
With Crunch Berries?
It's got something with marshmallows.
Yeah, it's got something with
It's got marshmallows. Yeah, it does.
No, it's Count Chocula, which is basically chocolate Rice Krispies.
And it's got marshmallows.
Yeah, but
Count
this one-
Chocula has marshmallows.
Yeah, but Count Chow, he's going to live forever.
Yeah.
He's a vampire.
Here's another one we have never mentioned. This was a hit for a while.
Cookie Crisp.
There it is.
Yeah.
It's like miniature chocolate chip cookies.
I know.
How did parents ever allow that in your house?
How do you go wrong with it? It was so great.
Yeah, but hey, we rarely ate it as cereal. We ate it as like snacks watching TV.
What didn't it? Wasn't the commercial like Cookie Crisp? was that a swing and a miss?
Yeah.
We don't remember.
You nailed it.
You guys gonna go on that journey with me?
Nailed it.
I didn't know it sounded like a 1920s car horn.
Oh no!
I think that's what it was.
Here is the worst cereal ever known to man. Why they made it, I still don't understand. Ooh, I made a rhyme.
There you go.
Grape nuts.
Oh yeah, grape nuts
It is the
terrible.
worst.
Grape nuts
It's the worst.
are the worst.
But if you want to poop a brick,
well, yeah, that's the only reason why you would eat grape nuts.
if you want to poop an entire shoot of bamboo, that is if you want to poop.
Oh, grape nuts with a ton of my mom's equal on it.
Oh no, thank you. Equal.
I think you just age quicker when you do that. I don't
If you
know.
want to poop a Cliff Bar.
That
That's basically
is
what it is. It's a honeyless food.
And then you can just eat it because it's going to taste the same.
It's just a Cliff Bar.
Just shut down the store right there. Cliff Bar is right on the money.
That's exactly it.
It is exactly.
Oh, Jack, tell me.
Here you go, Ross.
I rest my case.
Give him a dong.
Yeah.
Give him a dong.
Give him the dong,
That's
Jack.
dong worthy.
Ooh, healthy dong.
That felt great.
Buddy, let me tell you, if you want to shock
That felt so good.
if you want to shock
I've said that
yourself,
myself.
go to the cereal aisle and look at the prices of that. You get those family boxes of cereal, they're like $12 a piece.
I don't think I've ever.
Gotta go to Aldi.
I don't think I've ever remembered something that hard.
The Cookie
Like
Crisp
I'm
thing.
exhausted.
Well, the only commercials I remembered for was
I can't repeat any of the commercials I remember from being a kid because they're all canceled now.
those are
The rabbit.
great.
Tony the Tiger.
Tony the
Yep.
Tiger, the
And
rabbit.
The rabbit with tricks.
Tricks
They're-
are for kids.
Yep.
And then the one
The
magically
leprechaun.
delicious.
Yeah. They're always after me, my Lucky Charms.
And I've always loved that Trix rabbit going, like, he would always walk up to adults and be like, "What are you doing, you dumb bitch?" You just slap the Trix out of this 40-year-old's hands, like, "What? No. I just want just a sugary breakfast." You dumb bitch. Get out of here.
I didn't realize the Tricks rabbit was a pimp.
Well, his
The
name
hell
is
you-
Trix,
the
man.
hell you
Come on.
doing?
It's pretty
It says it right there.
self-explanatory.
Tricks is for kids.
He named
I
his-
got one rule.
He named the cereal after his bitches.
Our rabbit did not play.
All right, 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Load them up. Let's do last call and get the hell out of here on a Wednesday.
Yes!
Real
That's not a
Radio
win.
is the news junkie.
He said, "Can you please return the $1,800 that I mistakenly sent to your account via Zelle?" If the person on the other end doesn't do anything, are they in trouble? Like if I accidentally send C-Lane $2,000 via Venmo, try it out. I'm not. No,
I think that's a good point.
I'm not taking part in this experiment.
The news junkie. Weekdays at 11 on Real Radio 104.1.
From the Rude Air Conditioning Weather Center, powered locally by Ferguson HVAC.
What a beautiful day of weather we had today. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Hi there, I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner with your Fox 35 Central Florida forecast. Tonight we'll see a low of 60 degrees. Tomorrow the high 83, partly cloudy skies. 86 on Friday, 91 on Saturday. Saturday is also April 1st. Next week, we may see a few isolated storms, but the trend is that we'll remain mainly dry and warmer than normal. For the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner.
This report is sponsored by Direct Auto Insurance.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers. With savings of up to 25%, you could stop compromising and keep driving. Get a free quote today at directauto.com. Savings vary, terms apply. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Man, there's no question Tools Ace Hardware can help you create the perfect backyard for entertaining. And as it gets a little warmer outside, you got to make those plans, get that grill ready to go. Tools has the best grills out there, best brands out there. Weber, including the Genesis series, Traeger, Big Green Egg, and all sizes. But now you can also find Uni Pizza ovens and Napoleon grills. Those are both high-level operations, man. They're so great. I have an Uni Pizza oven Unbelievable. They also have Polywood outdoor furniture as well, made from extremely durable recycled plastic. It'll last for years, will not fade. They have the Solo stoves that you see everywhere online. And you can get free assembly and local delivery on any grill or patio furniture purchase $3.99 and up. It's Tools Ace Hardware, 12 convenient locations here in Central Florida, or you can shop online at acehardware.com for free in-store pickup or delivery. It's Tools Ace, the backyard place.
I can't wait for what's next. Even with higher stroke risk due to atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Eliquis, the Pixaban tablets, reduces stroke risk. It's the #1 cardiologist-prescribed blood thinner.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without talking to your doctor, as this may increase your risk of stroke. Eliquis can cause serious and, in rare cases, fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or have antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or unusual bruising, or if you have tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. It may increase your bleeding risk if you take medicines, such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
I've been buying wholesale cars for 27 years, and every year, the way I know the market has peaked is my Bradford pear tree blooms. This morning I looked, and it is bloomed. The market is peaking. If you want to sell your car, this is the highest time of the year to do it right now. Just beat a guy today. A CarMax offer $3,000. They offered him $75 on his Corvette. I gave him $78. Why? Because the tree told me to. GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
This is an important notice to consumers facing $10,000 or more in credit card debt, medical bills, or other unsecured debt. You may not be required to pay it all back because there are special programs now in effect that will significantly reduce the amount you will owe if you qualify. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. These programs, which the credit card companies like to keep secret, exist to aid American consumers struggling with overwhelming credit card debt by offering tremendous savings and real debt relief. Accredited Debt Relief has established a special hotline for you to call and learn what savings you qualify for. They've helped qualify consumers with over $1 billion in debt and are A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. So don't wait. Get the relief you need during these hard economic times. For this free information, call the Accredited Debt Relief Hotline now. Call 800-628-8080. 800-628-8080. That's 800-628-8080.
Finding great people to hire is like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's pretty difficult, right? Well, ZipRecruiter has mastered finding a needle in a haystack, so they take it to the next level. They make hiring so simple that it's like finding a needle in a needle stack. And that's why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. Here's what it's like to use ZipRecruiter. They have so many qualified candidates that it's easier to find the right ones for your roles. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's a lot of needles. So how do they do it? ZipRecruiter's powerful technology sends you candidates who are a great match for your job, and you can even invite your top choices to apply. So if you want less hay and more needles, head to ZipRecruiter.
And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
On the podcast Inner Cosmos with David Eagleman, the Stanford neuroscientist explores how brain science intersects with our lives, passions, and behaviors. This deep dive into the unexpected facets of our brain science will help you see the world differently.
I'm going to explore the relationship between our brains and our experiences by tackling unusual questions.
Listen to Inner Cosmos with David Eagleman on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
The station is participating in a nationwide online sweepstakes where one winner wins trip for 2 to Palm Springs, California to attend the Power Trip Festival in Coachella Valley, October 6th through 8th, including airfare, accommodations, weekend pit tickets, and more. Prize provided by Golden Voice. For more information about the sweepstakes, go to the station's website and click the Contests tab.
This hour brought to you by Space Coast Jobs Now, coming March 30th.
You're listening to The Jim Colbert Show on Real Radio 104.1.
Hey there, what up, Colbert crew? I just wanted to tell Ross that it is attainable, my friend. I have a friend whose 11-year-old daughter has a black belt. And if she can do it, you can do it too.
That's right, Ross. If an 11-year-old girl can do it, maybe, just maybe.
You can do it, Ross.
You got to believe.
Maybe, just maybe.
But is there like a crash course? Do I have to spend like 6 months to
dude,
a year for a
It's
black
way
belt?
more than that.
Listen,
You'll be
it's
going
all
through
about,
more than that.
Yeah, that's all.
It's the journey.
It's the discipline of it. You have to start with the white belt before you can get all the way up to the black belt.
But then you look like a nerd.
No,
you have to deal
don't.
with some really stupid belts.
What does it go? It goes white, yellow.
Yeah, I think it's yellow.
Blue, brown, black.
Isn't there a purple as well? Because there was someone who responded us to earlier who was a purple belt.
I think purple's higher than black. Then you get into
really?
I think you get into checkered belts as well.
Whoa.
I don't think black's the highest achievement.
Where does Paisley fit in?
Minnesota. Who is this?
Alabama Shakes.
Yeah. 407-916-1041. Text us 77031. Welcome back. I am Jim. Deb is here.
Hello.
And Jack.
Hello.
And Ron.
The red belt is considered to be like for the teacher, the master.
Like the sensei. You got to learn the language
sensei.
if you're going to do this. It's the
Rex
sensei.
Kwando.
Yeah. A Rex Kwando.
Rex Kwando.
Oh, man. So good.
He had a red belt, and that is supposed to be looked at more times than not than above the black belt because that's who's teaching.
Oh, okay. I've always wanted to take a martial arts class. Taekwondo, jujitsu.
Yeah. Jiu-jitsu is, if you really want to defend yourself.
That's what I want to be able to do.
Without question, jiu-jitsu is the number one because you got to learn how to grapple and strike so that you can handle it. Boxing, I think, is the next best.
So, question.
Speed bags are not as easy as they look either.
Jim, you're one of the most, out of anybody in my life, you are always in pursuit of integrity.
Okay.
And I respect that.
Thank you.
But let me throw this hypothetical.
Okay. Let me ruin
knew he
that.
was buttering you up for something.
Let me ruin that for you for the audience.
I have gotten mugged.
You've been mugged.
I have been mugged. To my knowledge, I don't think you have been mugged.
I have not been mugged.
If you are about to get mugged, are you kicking nuts?
Yeah, I'm doing everything I can to get away from the scenario, or I'm just giving up what I have to get them away from me.
Yeah, throw some sand in the eyes.
I'm not the hero guy like that when it comes to situations because I understand that just one wrong move could cost you everything, and it's not worth the $60 or $80 or credit card or two I may have on me. They're going to get everything they want, and then I'll move on from there. I mean, if I have to fight for my life, I'm sure I'm taking nuts and eyes. That's where I'm going. Nuts and eyes.
Like a primate.
That's exactly.
Yeah, you can't fight. You can't fight me if you can't see me. I'm going for your eyes.
Taking nuts and eyes.
I'm going to be dead honest with you. I'm one of the few people who I don't believe in halfway fighting. Like if we're in a situation and you are coming toward me and I think you mean bodily harm for me, the way I think it is this. I'm 55. I could get knocked down, hit my head, do whatever the case may be. If at any point you F with me, even in the least bit, I'm going to poke your eyes out.
Oh, my God.
That's exactly what I'm going to do. First thing first is I'm going to jab your eyes out. Because you have to understand, in today's world, you do not understand what anybody means or what they're trying to do. So if you accost me in any way, shape, or form like that, I have to assume the absolute worst every single time. And I'm there to get rid of the problem. I'm not going to poke your eyes out and then beat you up. I'm going to poke your eyes out and get away from you or kick you in the nuts and get away from you. And that's what, if you talk to the Navy SEALs and all these guys, these really high-level encounter guys, I think there was a thing a while back on social, and they said the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're in a bar, somebody starts a bar fight, and you're a Navy SEAL or whatever, the first thing they do is leave the bar to get away from the situation.
Exactly.
Because you don't know what that person's thinking. You don't know what weapon they have. You don't know anything. You have no information.
Sometimes being able to walk away is the strongest thing you'll do that day.
407-916-1041. We do have one line open for last call if you want to grab that. Deb, who do we have to thank today?
Well, we want to thank our Animal House guest, Cora Burcham, the director of...
She was great, by the way.
She was. It was great having her in-house today.
What a sweetheart.
For the first time. Director of Multimedia, as well as a Manatee Research Associate. And we also want to thank Orlando Sentinel columnist Scott Maxwell.
Yeah, by the way, if you want to check out that, you can go to JimColbertLive.com. Deb will have the podcast up of Animal House, so you can see our friend Cora Birch. Also want to remind you, before we get to the Twitter poll today, the Space Coast Job Fair is tomorrow at the Florida Marketplace Mall. That's 1328 South Babcock over in Melbourne. It's tomorrow from noon until 4. For more information, simply go to Space Coast Jobs Now and click on the Get More Info. And what these are is we bring together a bunch of vendors. You go out there, they ask you some questions, and you could get a job, change careers, and some of them even offer bonuses on site. So that's spacecoastfloridajobs.now or spacecoastjobs.now. Twitter poll.
Yes, the question we posed from an earlier conversation: have you ever renewed your wedding vows?
You know what? I don't know about this one. I think it's relatively low. I'll
open it up 12%.
Oh.
16.
I'll go 18.
9.
Oh,
Whoa.
wow. Ross donging crazy today.
I know. It's going to be Dragon Dong.
Dragon Dong.
That's what is his new. That's his name.
That's my
Double
new,
D.
Yeah, Double D.
That's my new gamer tag.
Dragon Dong.
Bro, you are 3 days away from standing up.
It is true. This Saturday, I'm going to be out in Theater West End. Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. There's like 14 seats left.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
Congratulations.
This show will sell out. So if you want to go see me perform live in downtown Sanford, go to theaterwestend.com for tickets. Or if you're not that good at, URLs, you can go to my Instagram. The link has always been right there in my bio.
That's right. Ross Paget Comedy on all social media platforms. Here we go for last call. Matt, last call.
Hey, how's it, Ohana?
Hey.
Great show today, but we used to lose our minds when frosted mini wheats come out. But back then in the 80s, oh, brother, $10 a box. And don't hate on peaches. Besides banana, best fruit ever.
That is,
cereal.
dog. That is. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate it.
Someone gets me.
Yeah, in Hawaiian, peaches are big.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't say
And they
pineapple.
put pineapple on their pizza.
And the shredded wheat is $10 a box.
Wow.
Nigel, last call.
It's an island.
Hey, does Cora the honeysucking manatee lady look as hot as she sounds? Awooga!
She's adorable.
A lot of different callbacks in that one.
I know.
Yeah. Mike, last call.
Mike often impersonated Buzzer Larson here. Jim, I take one day off yesterday from last call, and someone rudely tries to fill in for me. Geez, I'm mad. Here's what I got. Where do you find a dog with no legs?
I don't know, Mike. Where do you find a dog with no legs?
Right where you left him.
Oh, you mother. You're the worst ever, dude. You're the worst ever. Get out of here.
I enjoyed that one.
Party Mom, take us home. Last call.
So this is for real. My daughter's husband's base was bombed last week in Syria. Can't we all just get a bong?
Oh, God.
So much better off, guys. Come on, smoke weed every day.
Thank you so much, Party Mom. We appreciate that. Tomorrow coming up, we have our friend Brendan O'Connor to tell us what's happening in Orlando, and our buddy Glenn Klausman for Cobra Court. Plus your calls, texts, and talkbacks all day long. On behalf of Deb, Jack, Ross, I am Jim. We follow the News Junkie. They follow the Monsters in the Morning. After us, it's Tom and Dan with the Corporate Time and our friends from Real Laughs. We'll see you tomorrow at 3 o'clock for more of the Jim Colbert Show. Until then, have yourself a wonderful Wednesday evening.
And go put some hump in your day. Bye.